It would help if I add myself to the damn stream, wouldn't it? What's up, everybody? Um, Apologies for the late start, but I was moving my storage space because it pissed me off yesterday. They were trying to soak me for some money, and I didn't appreciate that shit. And then the chick that was working in there was rude. And like Hannibal Lecter, I detest rude people. I really do. So because she pissed me off so bad, just standing in there talking and how she was speaking to me, um, after 10, 11 years of having my stuff in that storage, I pulled it out of there that day. Told her to close my shit out. I'm not dealing with this shit with y'all, and bye. So I canceled my plans that I had for that day to go see two of my friends, KT and JT, in the city. Canceled those plans. Went and got me a U-Haul. Found me a new storage place closer to my home, and I start unloading that other storage place by myself. I didn't give a fuck. I was pissed. And not as so angry that I wanted to hurt somebody, but like I said, I don't like rude people. I don't. Rudeness is an imitation of strength, right? It's a weak person's imitation of strength. It's not strength. Condescending fucking attitudes, especially from somebody younger than you, a lot younger than you, thinking you're their age or below. They can't even paint their nails all the way, is irritating to me. So, because she was not listening and their accounting was a bit questionable, I pulled my shit out of there. And it was a good thing I pulled my shit out of there, because what I found when I went to my storage space, because I was just rolling in there to, pay my storage, right? And my storage is a ways away from me. It was still in Richmond, San Pablo area where I'm from. And I had been there since, divorced and moved out of the, 3-bedroom house. My stuff had been in there, and I over time dwindled it down to one smaller storage space, which was the only one I had. And it was just tools and comics and, geek movies and shit, like music and stuff like that, still in there. So it's valuable stuff to me. It could be a monetary value for somebody who found that shit, but you'd have to go through it and know what the hell it is that you're looking at, right? So when I went and decided I was going to clear out my storage space, what I found was that they had already cut my lock off of my unit. This is after, 30 days? That's not policy. They had already cut the lock off of my shit, which means they went in my shit and they looked through it. And then they put their lock on it. So when I showed up and they told me, I showed up on Friday. They knew I was coming this Friday. I had the amount that I needed to pay in hand. And then I showed up and it was damn near twice or another $200-$300 added on top of it. And I'm like, what the fuck is that for? I knew what was happening. They was trying to sell my shit, is what it was. They were trying to get ownership of that stuff and sell it. Because I don't know if it's the same owners or not, but I know the original people I rented from, and they were cool as shit. Cool as shit. Right? Enrique and his wife. And when they had a daughter, I saw their baby. So that's how long I had been there. I knew the people who had owned the place. Now, I don't know if they still own it or not, and they just hired some other people. But these new people in there, these big burly, large Marge ass bitches that's in there, oh no, they on the hustle. It's way too many storage wars television shows right now for these motherfuckers who want to be going through people's shit and taking pleasure through that. Looking and calculating your shit to figure out how they can get it. So they was trying to sell my shit, is what it was. Mind you, even if you late at a storage, it takes like 3 months before of you being late for you to have your shit go to auction. It's 30 days. That means just that month. They was already trying to auction my shit. Oh no. I pulled my shit the fuck out of there. And it was actually better that I did. It was a good thing that I had made some other moves already, that I had the time because I'm not on call this weekend. The option was there to help somebody cover for this rainy season. I'm like, fuck no, I got plans. Don't look at me like, hey, we need somebody to do some extra work. Ain't you available, artisan? Fuck you. If I can't be your employee of the quarter or the year or get the raise I wanted, no. Don't look to me when there's extra work that needs to be done. Go fuck yourself. No, I got plans. Ain't nobody else putting off their life to do this goddamn job, even during an 8-hour period. No, I'm out. So I end up having time. So because I had time and I did that calculation very quickly, yeah, let's get the fuck out of here. Let's go. We out. And I moved my shit by myself, if in the rain, if need be. Didn't give a fuck. I was looking all handsome to go out and shit like that. Don't matter. I don't give a fuck about these clothes. They can all get washed. It's just clothes. I pulled all of that shit out of there. And I found a bigger space, a lot less money, within walking distance of my home. So now I can go over there and pair through all of that shit every day if I feel like it. And they stay open late. So I can get rid of a lot of that stuff now. The place I had was just so y'all know, if you ever have to deal with storage shit, understand how bullshit this was. The place I had was a 10 by 9 unit that they were trying to charge me $184 a month for. The place I got now is a 10 by 10 for $100. Not even that for the first 3 months, like 50 something, half off. So for $100, I got a brand new place, bigger and closer, for 3 months. These motherfuckers was, I don't know who these new people are. They ain't no good at their fucking jobs. And I do not like that shit. You don't have to be rude. I don't give a fuck if I was late, whatever, motherfucker. It's not your shit. It's not. You just got here. I've been here. So you don't have to try to, no, come around here and look at this computer. Bitch, who is you talking to? No. I don't know who you used to talking to, little hood rat, but that ain't me. This is a professional business setting right now. And your ass is talking like we out there on the street. Oh, fuck no. Let me get my shit out of here. Because y'all won't be trying to sell off my shit and charge me money on top of money. So, as fucked up as it is, I dropped some significant amount of money to get my shit all out of there that day. You know what this dumb bitch did? Right after I paid everything, and JT knows because I texted him this shit. I paid everything. Completely done. You know what this dumb motherfucker did? Put a $10 charge on the account. Huh? I'm moving out. I just paid all this rent. Why are you putting a $10 charge on the account? Oh, it was a mistake. They charge for the insurance for another month when you do it. And I click yes. Why the fuck did you click yes? I just told you I'm out. I'll be gone today. Why the hell would you put another charge onto that account so they could start trying to charge me on that shit? No. So it took me most of the day. The good part about it is I had woken up early that day because I was going all the way out to Millbrae and I wasn't driving. I was going to take BART, ferry, or some shit and just enjoy myself, spend some time in the world, right? Not in my bubble, in my car and, going over bridges and shit. I was just going to spend some time enjoying life, right? Take it easy. So I had been up early. So it was good that I was there right when they opened up and got all this dumb bullshit up front because I had time to do all of this stuff. So I was there until what 7:30, 8 o'clock at night from 10 that morning. Got that shit done, except for the last thing where I didn't get back to the new place with enough time to unload that truck. So I had to keep the truck another day, which I didn't like because I didn't want to pull that shit up to my place and have motherfuckers thinking I was moving out. Like, I'm not moving, nigga. Like, don't be freaking out, okay? No, I'm here. I like my place. I just got some storage shit in my truck. So I got a lot of stuff done. I got a lot of my tools that I had in storage moved up to work so I can donate it to my job or throw it in a damn dumpster. Either way, right? All of my rest of my stuff is fairly organized and where I could have it. And I was pointing out to Rosie. I was thinking about Rosie when I was doing this shit because I still had that she had lost all her comics in my mind when I was moving all my comics. Now, I put the pictures up there, and what I didn't put up there, which will tell you why this shit sucks and why I'm sitting up here like an old man right now, thinking about my neck, my back, my thigh, my calf, is that I moved all those comics myself. My old storage place was upstairs. That's why it took a minute. It was upstairs. So I had to move it all downstairs in a lift and everything else. And there's a couple of big pieces in there, like my couch, my old desk, entertainment center, and shit like that. So if you don't know how one man moves a couch by himself, you should be impressed. I'm a smart motherfucker, especially a big, 8x12 entertainment center that all my comics were sitting on. So I moved all that shit downstairs into a truck, multiple packs, and then into a new place. Thankfully, the new place is all ground level. So it ain't no upstairs in the lift, none of that bullshit. Thank you. I can wheel it right out the truck, right into where it goes. I'm grateful for that shit because my calf was hurting like fuck today. But what I was thinking about with Rosie was all her comics. What you guys see in the pictures, because I was sharing some stuff on the community tab because I'm nostalgic and sentimental in a lot of ways. That's why I'm a collector. That's why I'm a geek. I like holding on to some of this shit. But I'm sitting there thinking about it, about how many comics I actually had. And I told you, I've read all of these. These are all comics I read. So I'm lugging all these goddamn boxes, heavy as fuck, long boxes, short boxes. And I'm thinking about this is knowledge's burden. For real, like we talk about it all the time about knowledge being a burden. And I had two thoughts. One, moving this stuff, I was thinking about Rosie, how it might have lightened her life by not having all the books that she had. Because I don't know how many she's had. I just don't know. I'm sitting here moving my collection, my personal collection, right? It's like, there's a lot of goddamn books. This is a pain in the ass to move. Okay. When I drop dead, my kids is not going to be going through that shit, man. They're going to sell all that shit for one price and wash their hands of it. Okay. They smart. When I moved the shit into that storage space, I had my son, I had a couple of my friends help me. That shit was me solo and angry in my mood. So I got it done. But this morning when I woke up and was feeling them aches and I was thinking about all them boxes I had to move, it's like, maybe I read too much. It's a burden, right? It's a burden in a sense, knowing that every time I grab one of those long boxes that I've read every comic in this box. More true is the statement that I've forgotten more than some people know, but more also true in the instance when I'm holding that box is how tangible the knowledge is that I have. It's tangible. It's weighted. You can weigh it. That shit is heavy. It's a lot easier to hold it in your brain, which made me a little bit of an advocate for digital comics at that moment. But digitally, I can move these a lot easier. Fuck. And it's raining outside? Yeah, thousands is the number, Rosie. Thousands is the number. And I'm thinking it's probably in the tens of thousands. Because it's easily 3,000 books. Easily. I'm thinking it's 15 because I think I did do a count one time. I think it's like 15. A long box, a short box is about 300 to 400 comics. A long box is double that. There were at least 12 long boxes. Y'all good with math? There's about 8,000, 600 and something books? Or no, 9,000. I'm doing the math wrong in my own fucking head. About 9,600 books just in the long boxes. It's not counting the short boxes. Like I said, you want to know where geeks hide their money? It's usually in the shit that they buy. Because my Chadwick Boseman Black Panther statue might just look cool. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. It's about $1,000. I don't buy fancy cars. I don't buy jewelry and shit like that. I like watches, but I don't do a lot of that shit. But the things I do like that I buy and are expensive: guns, alcohol, weapons, other shit, and then this geek stuff that I like and enjoy. It's a lot of shit, but now it's in a good place. Temperature controlled, like Malika is saying, no rodents and no shit like that. So I had to throw my couch away. Something I got into it. It's fine. I didn't want to keep that motherfucker anymore anyway. But destroyed that entertainment system and threw that shit away too. So I actually have space in this new unit that I can go in there and stand in there and go through all that stuff and get rid of it. And that makes me happy. Especially when it's close. I can walk there and get this shit done. Cool. I've worked in enough houses as a carpenter and doing remodels and stuff like that of people who are older and have just a house packed full of shit. And in today's terms, you look at them and say they were a hoarder. No, they're not necessarily hoarders. They just live life for a long time. You pick up a lot of shit from life if you have a problem throwing things away. And one of the things I don't necessarily see as disposable is people in relationships, but stuff, because I'm sentimental and a collector. It's a little harder to let go of. But having been damn near homeless for a while. I understand that you don't need all of that shit. You don't need all of that shit. It's nice. It's nice to look at. It's cute. Might have had a good memory with it. It'll still be a memory if you get rid of it. Still will. Most of that stuff I moved, I haven't seen in years. Damn near 10 years. There's clothes in there I ain't never wearing again. Fucking hangers, sticks, wood. Stuff from when I was contracting. I got a whole drawer full of screws and nails, and I'm just looking at that shit like, what am I, starting a construction company? Man, take the shit where somebody can use it. Am I going to sell any of them? I'm thinking about it, Rosie. I don't know why I keep saying Rose. I'm thinking about it. The last box I looked at before I left storage today, which was my Spawn box, had some comics in there, some Sam and Twitch stuff that was like $10, $12 when I bought it at the time because the label's still on it. I don't know if any of that shit is worth anything, but I'm a comic guy. I can look it up and find out myself. I can grade it, right? But I know it will take some time. I know what selling comics to people, how long that actually takes. It does take some time. You have to know what you are selling, who you're selling it to, and where you can sell it. And like I had to tell people many a times, bringing long boxes of comics into my shop, not bagged, not boarded, just a bunch of comics in a box that they bought from some storage auction. Oh, this is money in here. No, it ain't. I'll be the determining factor on if it's money or not, because I'm the one you're trying to sell this shit to. And I'm the one that has to turn around and sell it. So there's a difference between what something is worth and what you can sell it for. Or I should say, what something is worth and what somebody will pay for it. I'm not giving you what it's worth. I'm not. I'm a retailer. I have to sell it for value, which means you're getting less than that. Very simple. Very simple concept. It works everywhere. What up, Herb? So that's what I was doing. That's why I was late. I got up early to go out there to go unload this truck of all the heavy stuff that was left, the comics and the desk and all the rest of that shit, and realized I had forgotten the hand truck at work, because I went to work last night, like 10 o'clock at night. I went there, dropped off those tools and stuff like that, threw some stuff away, and I forgot the goddamn hand truck that goes to the damn U-Haul truck. So I had to drive all the way back up to that bitch to go get it. Like, oh God, this is getting costly. It was an expensive weekend to not do anything but have aches and pains. It wasn't like I was, MMA wrestling or fight clubbing it or nothing like that. Rosie says she wants a wrench. I'm not on the YouTube side right now. Let's see. There was a time that women didn't get wrenches over here. Let me see. Hold on. Let me go to the YouTube, go to the channel. Don't abuse the wrench. Just, tune people up. They get in here acting stupid. That's the only reason I actually have people with the wrenches. So some people can't get kicked out. If you got people that like abusing that policy, you can actually kick motherfuckers out of here that get to be talking stupid in there. So one of two. All right. I don't get that many trolls, so it's just a name only. But I figure I will do that since I still feel bad that you caused some shit. What, 3, 4 years ago? That was embarrassing. That was embarrassing and unfucking called for. All right. Dun, 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 dun. I must go forth and tell the world about my good works. You must be an ambassador. The fuck? I fucking knew it. So, shut the fuck up, man. Contributing to DEI. No. What it is Rosie has been a supporter of this channel for years. I don't think you were here last week when she came through, and I apologized to her for how my ex-girlfriend at the time, and crazy ex, was acting when Rosie was donating to the channel. She felt some kind of way about that shit, so she tried to outbid Rosie, and then gave me shit about how much she bid. Right. So I felt bad because I had knew Rosie from Angry Man's channel. Knew she was solid and good people's. That shit that happened on my channel was embarrassing to me. And I went off on my ex about that shit. She was my girl at the time, but I went off on her about this shit. I said, man, what the fuck? I don't like insecure shit like that. That shit bothers the fuck out of me. So Rosie coming back 4 years later gave me an opportunity, to apologize or whatever. And she is one of very few women who come to this channel and talk in the chat. I know how many women come through here. My demographic is not hugely women, but that's probably why I don't do what most other shows can do. It's probably not. Because one thing you know about women is that women fuck with you, they fuck with you. If they don't, they don't. They will support you if they fuck with you. It'll never be, oh, I don't want this motherfucker to get too big for his britches. It'll never be that. They'll share your content. They'll talk about your content. So think what you have is valuable. So being one of few women who actually comes here that I know by name and have seen other places over the years, she's gonna have a wrench. Not that big a goddamn deal. It's not something that to me, it's not something you buy because I understand I have wrenches a lot of places, but wrenches are responsibilities. So if I'm there in the chat, it's my job to actually do some goddamn work. Just keep these goofy people from saying dumb shit in people's chats and keep them out of there so a host can focus on doing their content and not fielding trolls and assholes. Just what it is. Oh, look who showed up. Aquatechy. You missed something last week, homie. You missed something last week. I'll pull that up. But so in a sense, everything is moved now. All my stuff is moved to a new storage place, and that's what I was doing. That's what I was doing today, and why it took a little longer. Because I got there all ready to go. Like, yep, I got 2 hours. I'm gonna load this truck. I'm gonna go drop it off, bring my car back. Everything will be good. I'll be back and ready to go. And then I got to my new storage place and opened the back of the truck, and said, "Where's the hand truck?" Fuck. Now I got to do another hour, 45 minutes to go all the way to work, grab a hand truck, come all the way back, and then unload. So it took a little while longer. So it is what it is. No, I usually don't lie, Kentucky. Like, no lies told. I don't lie. There's no reason. I don't see the reason in it. I really don't. I know there's situations where you probably should lie. I don't find myself in those situations very often. The truth is more fun because people always believe you're lying anyway. So I just laugh about it. It's more fun to me. And then contributing to DEI. You got jokes, man. Yeah, it is respect. Respect is a big thing. Respect is a big thing for me. And it's not like you got to be close to me to give respect. I give respect in general, flat out. Respect, I lead with respect. When you start being disrespectful and rude, then I drop that shit down. Now you don't get that shit because I gave it to you up front. I didn't have to, but I did. It's just easier to deal with people that way for me. When you start being disrespectful and rude and stuff, then I don't feel any qualms on dropping that shit down to a level where it's just one words and like you need to shut the fuck up talking to me. So I don't like rude people. Yeah. Congratulations on the move. Thank you. It'd be better. I can get rid of a lot of that stuff and then get us even smaller storage space, which is what I want. So the last thought on that I had was when I was moving these long boxes into the truck, right? And I was thinking about, you know, having read all of these books and stuff like that. I thought of it in relation to how many books has Dr. Tia-san had to go through. He's a PhD, Africana Studies, right? And he's an actual tenured teaching professor right now. I told you guys one of the things that I always get interested in if I visit people's houses is I want to see their bookshelf. I want to see their bookshelf. I want to see what lines their walls and what they fill their head with. Psychologically, that's interesting to me, right? Because you can't see everything that's in a person's head. But if you see their bookshelf, you can get a pretty good idea what they put into their head. What kind of ideas are swirling through there. What kind of stuff you might want to read yourself. Just saying. So when I was moving all those comics and stuff like that, don't think there wasn't a bunch of boxes of books and shit like that too. This is the stuff I was laughing about when I was moving, when I was thinking of my buddy Richard who helped me move all that shit. He said, man, what the hell is in here? I'm like, books. It's like, nigga. You ain't read all this shit. I did. Come on, man. So it's funny. He was suffering through it when we put it upstairs. And I was suffering through it when I was taking it downstairs and out of there. So I guess turnabout is fair play. I got to call him and let him know. Yeah, I moved in books. They were heavy. Sorry, I shouldn't have packed it like that. I was trying to be tight with space. The other thing I did, I put a picture up there to show everybody those comics in the box, but in boxes. But one other thing I wanted to show you that went back to what I had talked about last week about Diamond and stuff, is that Diamond makes good moving boxes. And you saw all those boxes, Diamond boxes, filled up with shit. And it was all anime. It was all anime, not manga. It was anime. Dr. T was asked, what's in the boxes? And I thought he was talking about one picture. He's actually talking about a different one. But I told him it's all VHS and DVD anime, which makes me laugh when somebody like Andre says, oh, you don't even like anime. Okay. I like anime longer than you've been alive. You realize that? That's how long I've been watching it. And not only do I watch it, I've actually spent my money to buy it and own it. I'm not in the streaming generation where everything is supposedly free. No. Put your money up. So I have an investment in this shit. An expensive one, apparently. Because not only did I buy it that first time, I'm paying to keep it now. So you don't have to ask me about shit like that. You ask me about some of this newer stuff. If I watched it, probably not, because I don't like a lot of the newer stuff. Overly focused on one thing. But Dad said you're funny. My bookshelf is full of hustling magazines. I was just having this conversation, sort of a conversation with my ex-wife, right? So I ran across something, and I found 2 pornographic magazines in my shit, and I know there's another one that I didn't even go through, but I know what box it's in. So in my stores, there are actually 3 pornographic magazines. One is a Playboy 45-year anniversary book, right? I can't remember what the point was that I bought that shit for. One book of like some Asian chicks. There's a reason. And then Playboy with China from WWF. That's it. I don't buy pornographic magazines. Never did. I've seen them. It was never interested me enough to actually keep buying them. So I was talking to the ex-wife about it. Joe Herb knows who she is, right? And I was like, we are talking about this one book, and it's like, yeah, when I pass away, sometimes somebody's gonna be going through this shit and gonna find this, and they're gonna think, oh, this is a dirty old man, and not understand the significance of the damn book whatsoever. It's like, oh, this is a dirty old fucker. Let me see what his tastes are. You don't know. You don't understand. So I only own 3. That's it in life. I only own 3. Kind of collector's items. There's reasons, but that's why. Black. Rainfire said, dang, Dad said no blacktail mags. Blacktail? What's wrong with not having blacktail, brother? Yeah, Playboy is classy. Playboy is classy. Look, I told y'all before, I don't hate women at all. I think a female's body is beautiful. I do. But as an artist, there is a softness that I cannot draw all the time. There's a softness in women's bodies that I can't draw all the time. I've had to learn techniques to try to draw a woman softer. My art style does not lend to that, but it's something that you have to work on. All art is usually something that you have to work on. A dirty mag, a girly mag, whatever the fuck you want to call it, pornographic magazine is good for that shit. It's good for anatomy, positions, how the hair falls, how the neck moves and stuff like that. If you're not sitting in classes and stuff like that and actually taking, formal art classes, it's a good way to find that. It is. There's 2 books you can use. You can use dirty magazines if you want. Get your titillation off. Just don't get the pages sticky. All right. You can use a Victoria's Secret magazine. Also, do not get the pages sticky. Okay. Keep your hand on your pencil, the one you're drawing with. And somebody's fashion magazine. I usually use the Olympics because I like fit women bodies. I do. That's what I use. When I watch the Olympics, I usually sit down with a piece of paper and sketch. It's usually gymnastics. I sketch poses and stuff. I'm visual. Find that suspicious. I keep thinking it right up until the time I start moving. Playboy usually have very good articles. 45th anniversary goes for between 30 and $50. Well, there you go. Collector's item. All right, I'm a collector. See, Herb's another artist. Drawing certain things is not like riding a bike either. You'll forget I speak from experience. Yeah, because any skill you have or have developed, you have to keep using, or you will forget certain things. Like I'm playing pool right now. Pool is a skill. How you set up your shots, how you know how to hit your shots, and consistently doing that. It's a skill. You have to maintain it. At this point, I hadn't played until I started playing this league. I hadn't played pool regularly in years. This was something that I played damn near every day for years, to not playing for a long stretch of time to going back to and playing regularly. It's a learning curve you got to get back over. It's the memory, the muscle memory, remembering this is how you hit that. This is how I do that. And look, I lost games last week playing nine ball. That was kind of a fix, but and not a fix them like they did something shady, but I've leveled up in skill in my nine ball league. We're playing another team. They put somebody at a skill level 1 against me, and I'm skill level 4. So how that worked out was she had to make 14 balls. I had to make 31. That's how it worked out. And we're only playing nine ball. She's not a skill level 1. She's not. She should at least be a 3. But they're sandbagging motherfuckers. They got a really good player playing at a really low level so they can clean up on wins. Okay. So that's what they doing. That's what the fuck they doing. I haven't been making nine ball runs. I got a 7-ball run under the belt. I haven't been racking up 9-ball runs. So there was a good chance that she was going to get her 14 balls before I got my 31. It's just what it is. So it's a skill that you have to work at, because every time I miss, it's something that I wasn't doing in the shot. And I know that. Well, at a different time, I would have hit that perfectly. Yeah, this is not that time. This is years later. So I have to get back in practice to get it back up to that level where it was at a certain point. Yeah, black hair magazines, source mags, drawing women back in. Yeah, that'd work too. If you were only drawing black hair, that would work, right? But I always tried to draw everybody, right? So like flowing hair is weird to me, how you can draw it. It's really weird to me. But because my drawing style always seemed to go from the outside in, it went from an outline to detail inside of it. I get the structure of how it's flowing over the head and stuff like that. But getting all that stuff in between there that doesn't make it look like it's just flat, it's tough. It's tough. A lot of curves, a lot of swooping and stuff like that. It's good when you can make a cool drawing, but getting it there is the work. That's the part of the work. Degradation of unused drawing skills post high school. Yeah, high school? Oh shit. I was drawing all the time. I can throw anything down. I just look at it like, yep. Done. No. After construction? No. Can't draw like I used to. I had to pick up another medium to work. Yeah. What happens? So, yeah, shit. Thank you guys. I didn't get to this yet, but I will. Hold tight. Oh, I can do it now because I need to show something. So I forgot my point, but point of it is everything is moved now, so I'm good. Thank you guys for being patient and coming back. Understand if I ever have to start the show late, I actually have something that I'm doing that I can't start the show at 11. Otherwise, I'll be here at 11. But that's usually what it is. I have something that is taking more time than I had allowed for it. So, and that's what it was. It was important to get that done today and get that damn truck back. So all that's done and that's off my head. So when I come home tomorrow, if I feel like it, I can go right over to storage and take a couple of those boxes and go toss them in the dumpster. Throw them in my car so I can throw them away at work tomorrow. The day after that. Done. Tools and shit like that. Other stuff that I didn't get to take up there. Yep, throw it in my car. It's going up to work. They can use it, not use it, throw it away. I don't give a fuck. It's out of my hair, out of my mind. So I can start paring that shit down, and in 3 months' time, I will have a much smaller storage space, costing me a lot less, a lot closer. I will have to move that shit again, but it's all flat, so we should be good. So anyway, thank you for showing up. Let me get out these people who actually supported the stream, because I do appreciate that. So shout out to the good brother Malika Me Bain, supported the stream on, what was it, Thursday, I think it was. He dropped it in here. Appreciate you, Malika. I will give you a 3B salute. Appreciate you. Bring that up there. Switch it for a minute. Next one goes out to Joe Herb. Appreciate you, Joe Herb, for supporting the stream. What does the message say? For the next trip to Geekland. Yeah, look. I got my old desk in there. All I need is a chair. I can sit in there and go through those boxes one at a time. I can just chill. Look like the goddamn accountant in there. I just roll into a storage unit and just sit in the storage unit and just be chilling with all my shit. Like, dude, can I stream from here? This will probably be fun for people to see all this shit in these boxes. I get a decent signal? That's it. Cool. Yeah, it's indoors. So appreciate you, Herb. I will give you the power of many. Appreciate you, Herb.
Power of one. The power of two. The power of many. The power of one. The power of two. The power of many.
The next one goes out to Aqua Techie. Oh, I've been waiting to see your ass. Appreciate you, Aqua Techie, for supporting the stream. And I will give you there you go. There you go, Aqua Techie. Your own personalized donation. Appreciate you, Aqua Techie. Did you leave a message? You didn't leave a message. But I couldn't resist. I told you I was going to do that shit, Aqua. I told your ass. What I found out is that I can't hold saying Aqua that damn long. Sinuses, I don't know what to tell you. I can't. So I'd be a terrible singer. I can't hold a note. What did she say about Grinch? Grinch was taking a nap on his live stream earlier. Or you could hear the man snoring. Grinch be getting it, boy. Stream about nothing. Yeah, that's what it said. Stream about nothing. I saw the title. I said, Grinch, you don't never do a stream about nothing. You always got something to say. What the fuck? That's high quality H2O right there. Yeah, Techie. It's still not finished. I haven't had a chance to work on it again since I put that up. But I showed that last week. You weren't here, so you didn't see it. But it made me laugh every time I played the shit because trying to do that voiceover was terrible. It's like, I can't even say this. I thought I could say that longer than that. Nope, obviously not. Sounds silly in my own place screaming that shit that loud. Anyway, there you go. I haven't put it on StreamYard because I am touched for space, but it's there. What's good, Braxton the Snake Fiend? Hey, sir, Louisiana is back in the building. Yes, it is. All right. So, let me look at something real quick. Okay. They don't look bad and she ain't married. Okay, weird shit. So, I will put this in there and then we'll get started talking about some of the shit I want to talk about today. If you guys have anything you would like to talk about, super chat that shit so I know, so I can actually speak on that with you. But in the meantime, oh shit, BGS just went live. I knew that was going to happen because I'm doing my show so late. So if some of y'all got to go because the teacher's class is in session, I understand. Catch the replay. Okay, what you want now? Hiring ass.
First off, let me say, Rosie, it was all jokes. It was, just put that out there. I ain't trying to get, roasted in the comment section.
You ain't gonna get roasted. Rosie actually has some class. I haven't heard Rosie roast anybody. What I usually get off of her is she thinks it's mildly amusing that these motherfuckers be trying to get at her. Just mildly amused, like, oh, what's this little petty bitch? Oh my god, so precious, so precious, nice. Bro. Bitch, shut up. That's my vibe that I get off of reading the comments and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
She a good sport.
Nice. Hey, did you talk about? I know you had the video. It was last week, right? About the whole what's his name? Anthony Mackie said, right? That was last week, right? Or was it the week before?
It was last week. I talked about that little video.
Yeah.
Review he was doing and. They were blowing it up, and I heard I was going to talk about it today that he just said something else, and I told y'all it was going to start a feeding frenzy. It's going to be all over his shit, and right now they on his ass about anything he says.
So he is persona non grata?
He's not persona non grata, but he has given them enough ammunition to actually talk shit about him specifically now. Because before they were just talking about the movie and why Falcon shouldn't be Captain America, but we already knew what the veiled thing was, right?
Sure.
So because he said something silly now they can go after him specifically, personally.
Yeah,
about the dumb shit he said. Like the last report I heard was they were saying, "Is he the new Rachel Zegler?" I'm like, get the fuck out of here! Rachel Zegler's been saying dumb shit for over a year.
That's disrespectful.
God dang,
that's crazy.
I could look. Anthony Mackie said, I guess, two dumb things in two separate instances right before he went, before his movie drops. Look, man, I've been telling y'all forever. Marvel needs to tell these people to shut up if they got a movie dropping. If you got a movie dropping soon, you don't get to do no interview saying nothing controversial. You gonna mess up the money. Stop messing up the church's money.
It's funny. They did it with Tom Holland. They did it with everybody except him. Seems weird.
Well, Tom Holland always gives spoilers. That's why.
Well, you got to treat everybody like that, then. like the fact that if you treated him like, oh yeah, just go out and say it, like you have to, like, you know what I mean? Like there's a Marvel NDA sort of thing. You would hope that everybody gets a part of.
You would hope. What's good, Malika? Shout out to Rosie supporting the stream. She is a supporter of the stream, or what does AM call it? The sponsor of the stream. She just did. She just sponsored StreamYard for y'all. So appreciate you, Rosie. I don't know which one you like because I usually make offensive. Oh, but no, I know which one. I got another new one. I know Akoteki ain't seen that one either. So appreciate you, Rosie. I will give you the red man.
Yo, I'm doing all right. Yes, sir. I get an attitude when my money ain't right. The team don't want to see me rich. I bet they all back down when they hit a click. Yo.
Appreciate you, Rosie. What's good, Malika?
What's up, yo? How y'all doing?
What's up, Malika?
Yeah, see, I did a late stream and you were able to come home first, right?
Yeah, I came home, showered up, and I'm chilling.
See? We got to relax. Maybe I'll do later streams.
Yes, sir.
Can I chime in on Marvel or Disney employees putting their foots in their mouths?
Please do, because I know everybody has an opinion on it. You just don't usually get to hear from the regular people what they think of the shit. Because I'm not on Twitter or Reddit.
You know, Disney Plus put the latest Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man cartoon out, right?
I was going to talk about that. I watched it. I watched those 2 episodes.
The voice actor said something that was, I kind of dug what he said, but he shouldn't have said it. And I'm paraphrasing what he said. When he first got the script, he was hoping it wasn't going to be too woke and DEI.
Mhm.
And now to us, we could say, oh, I can understand that. But when he said that in the height of what's going on, and especially with Disney, it'd have been like, dude, just shut up, get the paycheck, and do the voiceover, because it's just the first season.
Yeah.
Don't do a Bo DeMayo, man. Come on, just chill out.
Well, you know, I got my things with that shit with Bo DeMayo.
Mm-hmm.
From the reports I've heard, what he did. Look, I don't know a gay man who sends compromising pictures of himself to anybody who ain't gay.
Mm-hmm.
That's not something that gay males usually do. They just randomly sending half-naked pictures of themselves to everybody. That's not what it is.
Facts.
He was soliciting somebody who was showing interest, and they turned around and tried to bite him in the ass for that shit, is what I'm thinking. Because he wrote a hell of a show.
No,
the only thing they did is gave it to some other hack to try to follow behind.
I'm not saying the actions. I'm just saying, don't do something dumb by making the title of it being doing a Bo DeMayo. But you know what the funny thing is? Now it's that there's either is that you don't say anything, get paid, and just do what you gotta do, or now you have to be the spokesperson and only has to say something. You have to speak up for everything. That's where it's like, damn, what are you supposed to do? You can't say nothing. I guess you just gotta be a mindless drone and do your job.
You can say something, right? I'm not in favor of no mindless drones. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think you can say something, but at a point, if you get a read on the fervor that's surrounding the movie, because you got to know. I mean, he was having his own issues with the damn movie just filming it, right? People don't want to have to like this movie. They don't. And they've been out strong and regular on a daily basis crapping on this movie for over a year.
What are you talking
about? Anything that he got an opportunity to say that they can take to, Captain America 4. Anything that they can take and make a case on, they were going to be looking for. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's that hard for black males to understand that shit. I don't think it's that hard for us to understand it.
I think we got it mixed up. You're talking about Anthony Mackie. I was talking about the voice actor for Spider-Man cartoon.
I don't know anything about that one. I don't know.
That's what I was telling you. He said when he got the script, I hope it's not too woke and it's not a lot of DEI stuff.
Oh, too late. That the whole thing. So let me back up. The whole thing about the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man show that got me to watch the show, because I wasn't giving a shit that it was on or not, was I saw the brothers on Double Toasted had reviewed it. I think they were the ones who talked about it. And people were talking about how people complained that it was DEI and stuff in it. And I'm like, what is this? Let me just watch it. And I watched it Friday. All of that stuff really, the DEI stuff in it, not the gender swaps, but the race swaps and stuff, that blew past me. That all blew past me as being an issue for one simple freaking thing. One thing that they use in all of these movies now. You understand what a multiverse is, right? So this is not main Spider-Man. It ain't talking about Spider-Man. It ain't Miles Morales. It ain't none of that shit. It's another version of Spider-Man in some other goddamn universe. What is everybody freaking out about? They didn't wipe away white Harry Osborn. They didn't. Just in this universe, it's a black dude. Kind of metrosexual, but a black dude.
Kind of metrosexual.
Yeah, because he got some lips on him, like, man, he kind of luscious. Like, what's that? What's that joke? Boy, you can't call another man delicious. He got some delicious lips on him. Like, maybe they was chasing him just trying to get something done. Like,
come on.
Look, that's just how the character design looks. Look, I didn't make the shit. I'm just looking at it like,
yeah, right.
A little bit bouncy.
No, I'm not gonna let you get away with calling man's lips bouncy.
I don't know.
The man got bouncy lips.
Yeah,
cut the stream. He tripping.
Right. So the show being too woke, thinking that it wasn't going to be woke, was a misstep. Understanding where you are.
Yeah,
read the room.
The time we live in. Yeah, we live in those kind of times. It is what it is.
Well, just working with Disney right now. Like, come on, Disney and the MCU, you can get some woke shit.
Right.
But understand in the same way I can take Batman the Cape Crusader, I can watch Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man and not get so bent out of shape about it. Like, oh my God, they made this person black and this person looks like this. And I'm like, you know, this is another universe, right?
Yeah.
So all the rest of that shit you're complaining about doesn't actually matter here. And I said the same thing about Batman the Cape Crusader. I said the same thing about Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. I'm saying the same thing about this Spider-Man movie or the Spider-Man cartoon. It's a different goddamn universe, so it doesn't fucking matter. They can do whatever the fuck they want to.
Mm-hmm.
So if they want some broad-shouldered Pearl character that used to be Peter's babysitter, but he got a thing for her, okay, that just makes Peter have a Drake story, right? Just make him Drake. Okay, that's kind of funny to me. That's kind of funny to me.
Yeah.
Harry Osborn with the luscious lips, like, okay, well, maybe he got some tendencies we don't know about yet. But, all right. Norman Osborn looking like Billy D with the waves.
Oh,
all right, whatever.
Those waves were kind of.
I'm down to see what the show is.
Yeah.
I'm not that upset about it. It's not anything to be that upset about. But you hear these people talk about this shit like, oh my God, they did this and they did that. It's like they did it in another universe, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it don't matter. It don't matter. This ain't Tom Holland Spider-Man animated.
Nope.
It's not. So this actually affects nothing in the MCU. No. Except maybe if they pop in on them from some other character going through the multiverse. Then you can see this stripped down Spider-Man. I heard one person complain about it. That, and these are some people that don't. These are fake geeks. Understand that I was listening to talk about this. It wasn't Double Toasted, my bad. Forgive me, because I know Double Toasted has a video out. These are some white geeks talking about this show, complaining about it.
Oh boy.
pseudo geeks. They're not geeks. They got a big channel. They're not fucking geeks. Because the guy was complaining about Spider-Man having to have web fluid in this container. He didn't like that. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? He didn't understand why Spider-Man had this apparatuses on his arms to shoot his webby. I'm like, you ain't a geek, sir. You are not a geek. Put your flag up, you faker, you poser.
Go and sit down somewhere.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Spider-Man traditionally always has apparatuses to shoot his spider webs.
Exactly. It's only Sam Raimi that gave him the internal web fluid.
It's not even Sam Raimi who gave that shit to him. Sam Raimi didn't give that to him. That was something that Spider-Man 2099 had from Jump.
Oh, okay.
They brought that over when Sam Raimi did the Spider-Man movie. They brought that over from 2099 and gave it to Peter of having internal organic webbing.
Ah, gotcha.
That was never part of Peter's thing, because when you give him organic webbing, you take away Peter's smarts and making his own web fluid.
Yeah.
That's what happens. You decrease his intelligence. Because traditionally, Peter made all that shit himself. Because Peter is a genius. He just don't have the money of a Tony Stark and Reed Richards. But he is a genius. He made all his own shit.
Yeah, because
so he's always had web fluid that he had to make.
And it's the running gag that and a running gag where he always runs out of web fluid at the wrong time because he's poor.
Yeah, because apparently it doesn't have a fill meter on it.
Yeah.
It don't beep at him and say, hey, I'm running low. Well, you about on E. You got one more spin, man. We can do about 20 feet and you done.
Beep, beep, beep. Oh, snap.
Yeah. So hearing stuff like that just irritated me about the show, because they're just looking for a reason to dislike this shit. This is what I mean about they always chasing the bone with the audience and trying to give you the next thing you're supposed to attack. For what?
Yeah,
y'all got objections about a show that's not even important and not related to shit. Yeah, it might borrow scenes from things you've seen in the MCU, but it ain't that MCU shit. It's not Tom Holland Spider-Man. It's not what Sony's doing with Miles Morales. It's not either one of those. It's a completely different Peter in a completely different world, and things that happen completely fucking different.
Yes, sir.
I thought it was entertaining in the sense, in the first episode, the creature that Doctor Strange was fighting, Peter doesn't know who Doctor Strange is. Doctor Strange doesn't even have a name. He's just some magician person fighting a thing that's a Venom symbiote, basically. It's basically Venom. All the rest of the people around there don't know what the hell that is. But as a comic book fan, looking at it and stuff like that, that's Venom. That's a symbiote. Holy shit. That's kind of interesting. Where'd they come from? He doesn't know who Doctor Strange is, so he doesn't know Doctor Strange. But he does have an Iron Man. May does have an Iron Man bobble hanging from the window in her car. Interesting. This is a weird universe. Yeah. And that's how I'm looking at it. Okay, this is an interesting universe. How does this work here? I'm not, oh, this is not Spider-Man. This is not this. And come on, man. Shut up. You have that. It's not wiping none of that away. It's still there. It's okay. White boys are still white in another universe. You're good. Fucking hell. They was talking about the brown skinned chicks and everything. Oh, she was taller than him. Well, yeah, they are. They would be. So, well, she got bigger shoulders than the football player. Or maybe she got slave strength too, motherfucker. It's just stuff to complain about. It's just stuff to complain about. It's not an actual complaint that's bothering anything. It's just stuff to complain about. And whoop the viewers into like, yeah, I should not like this. Because what? So it's not what you thought you knew. Anyway. Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
Spidey been had web fluid. Yeah, always. You don't get away from it.
It's crazy that people still have to be told to have an opinion on comic books. Like, should I like this or not? And just go to some guy who is no expert on anything. Clearly, like if you knew anything about the character, you would know that they're not.
Damn dumb.
Yeah, you would know that.
That's your channel.
Yeah,
you're the lead host on that channel. That's your channel. You said that shit out of your mouth reviewing geek stuff.
So they said that, like you said, they're definitely not geeks.
They're not geeks. I've said that from the beginning. They've never been geeks. I know who these people are. These are political people.
Profiteers.
Yep.
If you mention something stupid like that, you're like, where are you coming from?
Pirates and plunder. Spider-Man could have met Norman and Harry Osborn by holding their Dax, Grease, and do-rags hostage. Could have. Could have. I just thought it was funny the way they drew the cornrows. But here's the DEI part of it that I disliked in the show. When you get to who would be Flash, but it's not Flash, it's Taylor or whatever his name is, right? The football player. Mm-hmm. Seeing that he's a football player, but he's actually super smart. Then they had him walking home. And he walked through all these crime-ridden neighborhoods and shit. I was like, what kind of stereotypical bullshit is this? I'm like, wait a minute.
Smart black kid from the ghetto.
Wait a minute. Peter Parker stays in Queens with his hot Aunt May by themselves. Nice big apartment, right? But Taylor walks his ass home from the nice side of town all the way to, I don't know where the fuck he went to. They act like he went to a hood or something, like a Bed-Stuy or some shit.
Yeah, they put him in Bed-Stuy.
And end up in a house that looked like it got two families in it. Like grandma, grandpa in there, mom, dad, sister. I'm like, God damn, how many people in this house? All adults. What kind of stereotypical shit is that? That's the part that irritated me. That irritated me more than anything in the show. Like, what the fuck is this stereotypical shit?
That's how black people in the city live, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what it seemed like. No, because he's super smart, but he got to come from a terrible neighborhood. Why?
Yeah.
It's able-bodied adults at home. 2 cents.
They gave him the good time treatment.
That's what I was about to say. They gave him the good time scenario.
Yeah, come on, man. What is this shit? Yeah, that shit bothered. That's what bothered me. That was the DEI part of that shit.
At least give him the luxury of getting bust. They need to get him bust. No, yeah, bro. Give him that. He had to walk.
He couldn't get a bus. He had to walk and then get profiled by the police while they driving by him on the wrong side of the street, just looking at him while he walking. Like, what?
Stop and frisk happened like years ago. That's been over. So why we
I was waiting for him to pull out an iced tea or something.
Oh my gosh.
Holy shit. That's the part that bothered me. That was the DEI part of it. When the gay spiders are glider wings, and they're saving money on web fluid. Not really. I would think, I forget who it was that was doing that. First, was it Larson or whoever it was that was drawing the webbing under his arms? Every artist for Spider-Man has to have their own little stamp on Spider-Man. And they'll do different things, excuse me, within the bounds of the costume to make the costume recognizable as this is them drawing the costume. The glider wings under his arm is just because, look, excuse me, Spider-Man swinging through a city on his webs. I forget how fast they say he's going, like 80, 90 miles an hour. And if you watch any movies, you see that he loved catching air. Well, to get to some places before you get to the next tall building, if you have some little, flying squirrel wings under your arms, you could probably glide a little bit, catch a little bit of air to get to that next building. Because you don't usually see his ass swinging across a waterway. Just
Can I give you a little history on the glider wing thing?
You're giving it to Rainfire, not to me.
Steve Ditko is the first one, the guy that created him, put those on there just for a design. Stan Lee asked him, "Why'd you put that there? It doesn't look like." Steve Ditko said, "I just wanted to put something on there to represent that he is a spider. I just wanted to put the wings there just for decoration." He kept them on there for the very first few issues. If you ever notice further issues down the line with the Ditko run, he got rid of them because Stan Lee didn't like them. Now, further issues in the 70s and 80s, and even here and there, they brought the wings back. And whoever wants to put them in, like you said, whatever artist rendition, they'll put them in there. It was never meant to be like glider wings. They were just for design, which Steve Ditko thought was very cool, but Stan Lee never really liked them.
You don't have to. Fans like it. The fuck. So thank you for that. Did you hear Rayfire? He's Ricky from Boys in the Hood. I'm gonna get the hood with this ball and his brains. So apparently he's gonna get killed sooner or later. Y'all forgive me for having get my sugar back up. Because I sweated way too much yesterday. I got quiet. What happened? Want to lose contact with the screen? Anyway, I didn't think the show was that bad. I watched the both episodes of that shit. I made notes on both episodes. I didn't think it was bad. I was interested in seeing what happened next. I was more interested in seeing what happened next on that than I was in Skeleton Crew. So I'm not disappointed about it. The art style I thought was interesting because it looked more like cell shaded anime in a sense. All right. So it gave it an interesting look. The fact that Peter is not necessarily wearing a costume. He has a costume on, but it's not the traditional Spider-Man costume. It's funny to me, especially when I'm running around with the big fucking tank on his back, fanny pack. Like, goddamn, dude, he got an aqua lung. That looks hella cumbersome to carry around. All right. I thought that was funny. Him lusting after his old babysitter is funny as hell. Like, yeah, 3 years, Peter. Good luck, brother. Welcome to my world. I can relate. I always liked older women. Oh, you cute. You young. I don't want to be cute. Fuck that. Fuck about that cute shit. So I get it. That should be kind of funny. That should be good for a laugh. The other character, Nico Mori. She's a character from Marvel Comics too.
The Runaways, right?
Yeah, I hate people talking through me when I'm trying to get my thought out. Yeah, she is from the Runaways. She is a sorcerer, but she is low key hating on Peter the whole time. Like, just put them together and end it, get it over with. Like, I can see what's happening with that shit. You know, they're trying to work her in that she's going to be the love interest eventually after she finished shitting on everybody else around them. But little golf magician girl, okay, whatever. It'll be fine. The spider getting there and biting him, I heard complaint from the same people I was watching about how that happened. I'm like, it's fine because to have Spider-Man, you just need a spider bite. They gave you a spider bite. Where the spider came from, well, that's what you find out in the story, dickface. It doesn't have to be all explained the same way you've heard it 200 other times, does it? No. So I'm not thinking it's a terrible show. It was interesting. I mean, it will pale in comparison to Invincible season 3, I know. But it is what it is. It's doing its best to do what it's doing. I'm not upset about all the swaps and changes. I just think some of it looks goofy. but it'll do what it'll do. Just because Marvel is in a shit place right now, it probably won't do well. It won't. So I'm waiting for people to calm down on all this freaking out about the DEI shit because they're happy about an election that they felt they won. So I'm waiting to see if they calm down with this shit a little bit, or if they keep going overdoing it, like they can just say whatever now. Because, Trump wrote out DEI and stuff like that. That means we can say some outlandish shit now. No, it don't. You still got a face. And other people still got the right to punch you in it for saying some out of line shit. Don't let the situation get you fucked up. Just saying. So, what else y'all got? Or what do you two got?
I had read a online article about Cross season 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They greenlit it?
Oh yeah, this done. It's already in the can. All they're doing
Nice.
is the post production.
Nice.
Oh wow! So it's like done.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
The brother that plays Cross's partner, Mustafa, they were doing the interview with him, and he says, we already did it. It's already in the can. Like, they're doing post production, like they're coming and doing like voiceovers and different things. He can't give too much. But he says, there's going to be a new bad guy. There's going to be a new killer, of course, like in every Cross book. But they said the thing is that they left you on the cliffhanger with Bobby and the female FBI agent. How's that going to turn out? And they said, he says, I can't give you too much, but he says it's going to be an integral part of season 2. How the way that's going, you don't know if the female FBI agent, is she good? Is she bad? How the ways it's planning out? What's the big plan? But he says it's pretty good. The only thing is that they don't. Beg your pardon?
I said I'm going with she's dirty. That'd be more interesting story to me.
The only thing is that they don't know when it's going to be put out. They might put it out in the fall like they did with the last one.
They should.
But they don't know when Amazon Prime is going to give them their slot. But they know definitely it's going to be done. It's definitely going to come out.
Okay, that's kind of problematic that they don't have a guaranteed time slot.
It's coming out. They just don't know when.
Yeah, that seems odd to me. Like, technically, like Invincible is coming out this week. Technically, it's been coming out the same time every year, right? Just like The Boys. When The Boys is coming out because it comes out the same time every year. For a show like Cross, why would you not know when your shit is coming out? Like, they gonna switch it all of a sudden?
I don't think they're going to
switch network it. TV. Yeah, this is not network TV. You don't have to change the time slot or anything like that.
I think it's coming out. They just have to wait. They probably got a lot of other stuff that they got to set up. Remember, like, we were trying to figure out when is Reacher coming out, but then they never really gave you a real definitive slot where it's coming out. But then it was like, oh, it's coming out. Okay. So, because you figure with Reacher and with Cross, 2 characters from books that have been made into movies but have found greater success on series television, and adaptations from the books into a series have done well. So they know that those 2 are cash cows for them.
Well, yeah, Reacher, Jack Ryan, and Cross.
Yeah, I
forgot
Jack Ryan too.
The Boys. It wasn't. It was a comic, not a literary book, but not a novel. But shit, it's working just the same.
Yeah,
working all the same. So at least on that side, it seems like they might have hit a sweet spot with it, but I don't know.
Yep.
It just strikes me as foul that they don't know exactly when they're going to drop it. Like it should be the same time they dropped it last year.
Well, that's what they said. They said it's going to be that. It's going to do that. It's going to be around the same time. It's the possible when because it came out. Cross came out in the fall of 2024. So they said probably put it out in the fall of 2025.
Yeah, that's when people would be looking for it. Weird. Well, that's good. I mean, I want to see part 2 because as much as James Patterson has written for the Cross character, we can make that show like SVU. You can do that shit every year.
Mm-hmm.
A new character every year and not have to repeat. It's enough material out there.
Yeah, 11 books.
Yeah, like look. Amazon is good with those like terminal lists. I don't know how many books are in a terminal list, but I know it's more than one. I don't know how many is in the whole thing. They can bring that back and do the part 2 of that, right? Reacher is going on season 4, and then they're trying to do a spinoff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Cross is coming back for a season 2. Awesome. I think they finished Jack Ryan. I'm not sure, but these are characters that have long literary histories anyway. You can just keep doing those shows. As long as you keep the quality up, you can just keep doing them.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. I'm completely fine with that because I don't know about you, but I like guys' entertainment. Just saying, I like seeing people get their ass kicked sometimes. Shout out to Rainfire. Supporting the stream. What do you say? For the uplifting. Before this 12-hour shift, late night, we got on the subject of funerals and insurance and where to bury people. It went left. What went left about that? And how's that related to geek shit? What the fuck, dude? Y'all just keep wanting to introduce a bunch of random shit. Appreciate you, Raymar, for the insightful funeral conversation. Appreciate you for supporting the stream. I will give you that 3-piece.
Gets me every time.
Said funerals. How does a conversation about funerals go left? Did you talk about eating people and not burying them?
Whoa. Oh my
Burning them up? I mean, what? I don't know how that relates to what the hell is being talked about right now. I really don't.
I don't know if I want to know.
Look, I'm not afraid of conversations, so I might be curious to know. I just don't know if it should be posted on YouTube.
Yes, that's more like it.
Yeah, just not in this forum. I don't know if this is the channel for it. But I'm kind of curious because I don't know how a funeral conversation and insurance goes left.
Yeah, that'd be more of an unlisted video on Patreon.
Yeah, I don't know if it would be even Patreon. It'd just be an interesting conversation. So, there's something I put up in my community tab, which I was curious if anybody actually took the time to go back and actually watch. And it was The Menu, because I saw it on Netflix and I went ahead and watched it again on Friday night, right? And I have to tell you, that is one of my favorite movies right now recently. It is I called it a new classic because it is a new classic movie for me. Like, I would give anybody that movie to watch and understand the artistry of what's happening in this movie and just the story in and of itself, what it means, what this story means. I thought it was very interesting. I remember seeing it in the theater, right? And I did a review on it and everything. But I'm still not sure who that watches me actually has seen this goddamn movie. So you guys tell me in the chat if you've actually checked out The Menu. And if so, what you liked about it, and if not, why the hell you haven't?
I've not seen it.
Oh, you sucking ass. Why not?
Bunch of different watching a bunch of other different stuff.
Oh, that's Matt. That's not Malika. Okay, I'm not disappointed
this-
necessarily. Y'all
Yeah.
kind of sound like. So you just haven't seen it. Well, you should go and watch this shit. Show issue. Show issue.
Hey man,
Trust my recommendations, right? Right.
yeah, I trust your recommendations. All right, so I'm about to go check it out.
So here's the thing. What do you say, Malika? What was
I
your
haven't seen it yet because I forgot all about it. I knew that Ray Fiennes and the other actor that played the Beast is in it.
I've
And,
seen clips, but
Nicholas Holt? Nicholas Holt. Now I'm
and I like
following.
the concept, and I remember seeing you talked about it, and I remember seeing it on YouTube when they did a behind the scenes,
Mhm.
and I kind of like the chef, how the way he's killing these critics and these people that have no real taste. And John Leguizamo's in it too, right?
Yeah. Don't spoil the movie, but yeah.
But I like the concept, and I like how the premise is. It is funny though, so I'll check it out when I get some time.
No, I mean he ain't gonna check it out.
I've seen clips, but I haven't seen the whole thing because YouTube Shorts shows clips of movies sometimes, and I got clips of it. So I've seen a couple scenes, but not the whole thing.
It's to me, it is a really artfully done movie and very interesting. It does make a commentary on food, but it's more so a commentary on people, right? But one of the things that I find the most interesting about it is that while it's called the menu, what you're watching is the menu as well. You are seeing things put together. And at the same time as this chef is creating this experience for the people in this restaurant, you are getting the experience created for you watching it, because it is showing you. I'm looking for one of these chapter heads. It's showing you what's going on. Like it's giving you a menu, like you watch a food show. It's telling you what it is. Like, oh yeah, this is such and such. That's mixed here, and this is what you got. Now the other person you have in it is Anya Taylor-Joy, and
Yeah,
I'm sorry, she's a cute girl, but she is too goddamn skinny. And I was watching this thinking, like, somebody has to tell me she had a reduction or something, or I don't know. There's something completely different about her from what I saw in Split. Like, I don't know what happened, but she's still a good actress. She just looks scarily skinny. And I'm watching it this time, and I'm looking at the dress she's wearing. I said, that would be a really nice dress on a woman with some curves. It would. It would be a sexy ass dress on a woman with some curves. But with her walking around with it on, it's like a clothes hanger. And it's, look, man, I'm visual. I'm just looking at the shit. Somebody else had to see it too. Like, come on, man. So I keep saying this like it's concern. Like, is she okay? I'm kind of concerned about her. Like, is she all right?
Having them late '90s Ally McBeal flashbacks.
Yeah, we're gonna find
man.
out that purge and puking, or what is it called, pitch and purge, or whatever.
Yeah.
We're gonna find out later on.
Bulimia, yeah.
Yeah, see, but this doesn't make sense. That she is, what is she, 30 something now? She got to be like 30 something.
She's not that old. She's maybe early 30s, maybe.
Well, that's what I just said, 30 something. So I'm not getting it. It's to me, from what I've seen, women thicken up over time, and she is still running around like she is wafer thin, and that is, and that is kind of scary to me. It's like, what is not going on?
No, she's 28.
Yep.
Okay.
Tall.
What is she, 6 foot?
She's 5'8".
She ain't
Okay.
that.
She's
She's
tall for a
kinda
woman.
tall.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
kind of tall for a woman. Okay, that kind of makes some sense because that would make her. Yeah, that would make her a slender. She would not be extra heavy if she's going to be that damn tall. But I don't know. It looks weird. I want to see some of her other family members to see what the fuck is going on because
But you
that's
said
kind of
something.
concerning.
I remember her from Split.
Yeah,
And I was like, hold up. But she had some meat on her bones then. But then,
she
but I'm like,
she was meaty, kind of juggy. I'm like, this can't be the same.
Juggy. I never heard Juggy before.
You never heard juggy before?
No, as a descriptor.
It's English.
That's a good one. I'm like, Juggy.
Yeah, well, I'd like to be original, I guess.
Call a chick Juggy. Okay, I got a new word now. Now I appreciate it.
Juggy love. Juggy love.
Juggy. Oh man.
I guess she was selling the soul to the devil, and she's slowly creeping away.
Hey man.
Or she in Hollywood, boy, that nose candy be killing them. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
Hey, you got to do something to get through the night.
All right.
Or
Let's
the
see.
casting couch.
Ooh, come on now, come on.
With it. They supposedly arrested the one person that was doing that in Hollywood.
Yeah, so it's clearly over. Clearly over now.
Clearly,
One guy.
clearly, the one guy was responsible for all of it. Who's right? Blood boiler. You didn't pose your question in the form of a super chat, sir. Random questions. This must be random question day.
This ain't BGS AMA stream.
Yeah. All right. So this is one of the things I'm talking about.
Milk, snow, and charred lace. Enjoy.
That's the part that I was finding amusing. Get off the screen. Okay, they tell you what it is. They give you the ingredients like you're watching a cooking show, right? This is the movie playing to the audience that they're making a menu for you. You got this starter too. This is your starter. Not just a starter for the characters in the movie. This is a starter for you too. So it all culminates in what happens throughout this movie and the point that he's trying to make about people in general, because it's centered around food, but this is a general conversation you can have about everybody, right? Like I was just talking about the fake geek. This can relate to the fake geek too. You know?
May I jump in?
What? Yeah.
May I jump in real quick? Yeah. I didn't know if you were still talking or not. That what you just said reminded me of the scene of the old guy who had come to the restaurant a bunch of times. He says, "You come to our restaurant all the time. Tell me what is it you're eating?" And he was like, "Oh, what do you mean? What am I eating? No, tell me something about the dish." He looked at him like, "I don't know." He was like, "You come to our restaurant all the time. You can't tell me anything about why you're here, about what you're getting. You just come here and just eat and leave." And that just kind of reminded me of what you talked about, those guys who are just like, they just kind of consume geek culture and just kind of spew whatever they want to about it and kind of go without actually understanding what they're doing.
Yeah. The part you're talking about in the movie was like he said that guy had been there like 11 times.
Yeah.
It was like $1,200 a plate. And he asked him a simple question. Can you tell me what it is that you ate the last time you were here? Any one of the times that you've been here. You've been here 11 times. Tell me one of the things you ate on the last time you were here. He couldn't tell him. And he was pissed off because what it is his art, right? His art, the chef's art is with food. And all the painstaking work that they went through to make these meals and explain to them and tell them what it is, what it's made with, all the rest of this story that goes into this food that they're consuming. He was pissed off because all this dude did was eat it and shit it out and didn't think anything else about it. but he wants to come here and get privilege every time he shows up. So to your point, Matt, yeah, that is like geek culture. They have no respect for the art. They have no respect really for the people who do it. It's just a way to make money right now.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as it's not a way to make money, they will move on to something else.
Uh-huh.
That means they're not fucking geeks.
They're not passionate about it.
Oh,
No,
they're
not at all.
passionate. They're passionate
About the money.
because it makes them money.
They get paid.
Not passionate about it because it doesn't make them money. Because if there was no money in it, would you see any of these people around?
Nope.
No.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. So when we get, pissy about this kind of shit, well, that's what it is. Now, make no mistake about it. I'm not hating people making money. I'd love to make money too. I'm a hoe for making money. I like making money. I'm serious. That's just what it is. Money takes care of the things in my life so I don't have to work as hard as I do and lets me do things that I like doing. Like sitting here on the stream, like talking to you motherfuckers, right? Or arguing with dumbasses, right? So it's a necessity, right? But I understand the difference between making money and people just gaming this shit.
Yeah.
Now, some people are better at it than others. Some people are a lot better at it than me. They are. But we're not in a culture where you get paid on your knowledge.
True.
We're in a culture where you get paid on the surface level pomp and circumstance.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The most knowledgeable is not the one that gets paid the most.
No.
They're usually the ones who get shadow banned the most. The people who know less are the ones who are more flamboyant, and they can get all these eyeballs to say dumb shit like, why does Spider-Man have this apparatuses to shoot webs?
They speak,
Ain't hurting his subscribers none.
yeah. They speak into the surface level kind of feel goody thing, and they're not making people think because everybody they just know what people surface level want to hear.
Yeah.
Either good or bad, whether they agree with it or not. It's like, oh, it just drives engagement instead of driving like meaningful conversation like you.
It's
Like
just
when
a
you
business.
had when
Yeah, it's a business.
Yeah.
Well, I've told you guys before. I'm on here. I'm on YouTube. I run a channel. I'm probably a shitty businessman. I really am. And in some ways, I don't give a fuck. I don't, because I didn't start this shit thinking of it as a business. I thought of it in a way to share my knowledge and have conversation with geeks from all over the place. My business of geekdom was the shop. YouTube wasn't the business part. That was actually the fun, just bringing you guys in to the world, to me, and doing what I do, just deal with Matt, correcting inaccuracies. That's all it was.
Yeah.
Just updating everybody's files from the last time they actually read a comic, which was when Superman died. And all the outside misaligned knowledge that they thought they had, partly heard, caught a snippet of. Because I was still heavily entrenched in the shit on a daily. That was it. So that's why I said, well, I'm probably a shitty businessman. It's just what it is. But me, my angst always comes in and people that don't know shit talking. I don't get it. Like, why do you have so many people listening to your wrong ass? I don't get that.
I think it's because everybody wants to have their voice heard, and it's popular in this generation to, like how you said, now it's all about platform. It's just because what's popular, I'm going to give my view on it. It's about clicks and views and how many likes. But when you have guys like us, like, they'll say, well, this, and this, and they can understand web shooters. And you're like, what? And like you say, dude, like if you were there as a dude, are you really a geek or a nerd? You're asking this question? Like how did you ever really read comics?
No.
And
they tell themselves all the time.
But I mean, when you ask something like that, you look at them, you stare, it's like, dude, that's something stupid. That's like, why give a Jedi or a Sith a lightsaber? What were they going to do? Have jacks? Come on. I mean, What do you expect them to have? That's their weapon. But the thing is, when you said something, here's something that you're pivotal what you do when you ask somebody, and this is really where it comes down. Why did you like this? When you talk to Andre, like when you're asking him the question, he's like, "Oh, so Andre, you saw this particular show, or you read this particular, or whatever form of media you have. You ask him this question, why'd you like it? Well, I said, no, I didn't ask you where you got it from, or because somebody else said it.
What
Why
somebody else
do
did
you like it? And you said to him, I'm not trying to make fun of you or berate you. I'm asking you this question because you said we grew up in the time if you didn't like it, or if you did like it, or you were just iffy about it, you at least talked about it. Why did you like it? How did it resonate with you? Just like how we're talking about this show, The Menu, the main character, he's wanting people, why do you like my food? What was the real reason? I want you for it to be an experience. What's your experience with this particular thing? And if you're just saying, but now you're just being like a mindless drone. Okay, what do you feel? Do you like it? You don't. Why do you like it? If you didn't like it, why didn't you like it?
Mm-hmm. Well, see, like Rosie is saying in here about the movie was about greed. Not really about greed. Greed was in it. It was about freedom. That's what it was about. Freedom to create, put your art, your skill out to the world, and have people accept that and appreciate it for the fact that it is art. Mm-hmm. It's like the speech that Elijah gave that dude that walked in his comic book store in Unbreakable. But he said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna buy this for Jeb. He'll love it." How old is Jeb? Oh, he's like 4. And he's like, no. Fuck out of here. This is art, and it needs to be respected as such. Exactly the thing. It's about an artist understanding that his work is not appreciated. Mm-hmm. For the amount of effort he puts into it, it is not appreciated. And the greed part of it that you can see in it is, why was it so expensive to come to Hawthorne's to have that meal? Because he did that on purpose.
Yeah.
He did it on purpose. He raised the price point so high that only the most greedy elitist snobs will show up there who he didn't like, so he could feed them that shit. He did it on purpose. It was all calculated and thought out. None of what was done was haphazard or accidental. He did that shit all on purpose. And it was about freeing himself, not wanting to see his art turned into, this schlock that the damn lady was reviewing in the magazine and stuff. Mm-hmm. He detested that shit. He never liked her. Oh, you made me? Really? You fucking made me? No, bitch. Well, I'll fix you. Here's another separated emotion for you. We gave you a whole bucket of it this time. Like, god damn, he was petty as fuck. He was petty as hell. He hurt her. That's what it was. That's, to me, all right, we can disagree because we both seen the movie. We have our own opinions, right, based on our experiences. To me, that's what it was about. That's why he let her go at the end. It was about freedom, because she tapped into what was actually important for him, which was what he fell in love with about cooking anyway. And she got him to cook again, which he hadn't done. He hadn't done in a while. And he cooked something he enjoyed. Mm-hmm. And it was the simplest, shittiest fucking meal. A fucking cheeseburger. A cheeseburger and some fries. And he was happy as shit. He was so happy, in fact, you know what? You can go. Rest of you motherfuckers, though. Oh, no. Y'all got to stay here. You people with the money. You people with the money got to stay. But her, yeah, you can leave. Take the cheeseburger to go. And this fancy hoity-toity, we gave you small portions and gave you a whole story about it, restaurant. You made a greasy cheeseburger with some crinkle cut fries and sent her on her way to go. Jesus. She did ask for it to go. That was her asking for her freedom, because she gave him a moment of getting back in touch with loving cooking again. She gave him a moment of that by asking for that. That's what she sat there and figured out when she knew that she came back with that barrel. Like, this is it for us. What the fuck? What the fuck? How am I getting out of here? What he enjoyed. The one picture of him smiling. The one picture he had of him smiling was cooking a fucking cheeseburger. She called on that memory. That was psychology. Working off of what he had an issue with her about before, not eating the food. She fucked with him. She tested his fucking, not his geek, but his chef. Like, no, man, I'm still fucking hungry. This stuff sucks. It wasn't good, and I'm hungry.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want? I want a cheeseburger. What? All this fancy shit? You want a cheeseburger? Make you a cheeseburger to make your toes curl. Yeah, whatever. They make me a burger, Ramsey. We know you the cheeseburger king. I can't say shit bad about a cheeseburger. Nothing shitty about a cheeseburger. No, cheeseburgers are good, depending on where you get the shit from.
Exactly.
She paid the best way possible.
Yeah, and that's why he let her go.
She paid
that
attention.
was her asking to leave. When she asked it for it to go, she took 2 bites out of that shit. Ooh, that's delicious. Can I get it to go? And he just looked at her like, sure. And gave her a goodie bag.
Yeah.
Sent her on her way. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you're not like these people. You can go. So it's a lot of, to me, there's a lot of themes in there. And there's a lot of inferences and ideas you can pull apart from it and watch it. And I love movies like that. That even if you've watched it and they told you a story, you can sit back from it an hour later and think about it like, damn, wait a minute, that was kind of interesting. But what about it in this way? That's what made M. Night Shyamalan movies good in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff that you didn't catch the first time watching it. Like, holy, what? Yeah. What? Oh, no, bro. Let me go back and watch this. Wait a minute. I missed something. It was all dialogue. That's all
now
it
that
is.
Now that you know the twist.
Now that you got to the end and got the twist, what the hell's going on? Because I can tell you that movie, when I saw the trailer for that movie, I was interested because the dudes was sitting there with the tortillas and his laser printed bank statements. I'm like, what the fuck? It showed that they were hiding money in the Cayman Islands and stuff. I was like, what the hell? Rich bros getting it? Yeah, I'm down. You told him it was my birthday? Oh, yeah, it was funny at the time. Yeah, it was funny at the time, but they held to that shit too. They knew it wasn't his birthday. They still did it. The people at the restaurant knew it wasn't his birthday. They still did it. Still did it anyway. Yep. Let you go ahead and have this. Let you go ahead and have it. It's fine. So no, to me, it was an interesting movie. It was a very interesting movie. And it was one of the ones I think I saw in that year that I thought were really good movies, got little of no publicity, reviews, deep analysis of. It's just not. They were on to some other shit that ain't even important because you can't even remember what the fuck they was talking about at that time. But I can guarantee you it was about not liking something about somebody's DEI. I can guarantee that much. Like, I haven't done my prediction for this year, what's going to suck and what's going to be good, and what your mainstream geek channels are going to have to say about it. But it doesn't take a crystal ball to figure that shit out. It's the same thing I did last year.
Sure.
If I looked at the video now, I can tell you what it said about Captain America 4 and where we would be at right now. And I bet you it lines up. The video is still up. It's not rocket science to figure some of this shit out with these folks, which makes me question where's the art in it? Where is the one person's opinion out of it?
You talking about the art of reviewing or being critiquing something before it even comes out? You talking about that art?
I'm talking about the art of a critic actually having their own opinion that does not seem to be echoed out of anybody else.
Mm.
That's the part. Like Malika was pointing out, why do I test Andre or push Andre? Because yes, you watch this everybody else's content. I do too. Right? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But what you don't hear is me repeating everybody else's content.
Sure.
So if you're going to tell me what you thought of something, tell me what you fucking thought.
Oh.
Don't tell me what somebody else said. And you just saying it in your voice because it sounded smart to you. And you're trying to gain something off of saying that. No. Just be you. Because that's the only original thing out here in the world is you.
Yeah.
So I'm more interested in hearing that voice, your voice. I've heard everybody else's. Now I'm asking you about yours.
And one of the biggest things that I hated this when like I was younger, my teens, late teens, and my 20s. Usually that's the time when you're around friends, you go see movies and you watch shows. And if they don't like a show, they're going to try to influence you not to like it. And I used to hate that with critics.
Right.
And I remember, if you didn't, but this was very specific, especially when it came to music too, man. See, for geeks, we had a wide plethora of music that we like. It wasn't, and especially being a black geek, it wasn't just R&B and rap. We like rock, we like alternative, we like anything that you
Especially
like.
Yeah, especially
exactly.
Come on, man.
Because it was a buffet of great stuff out there, and especially books too. But I disliked when a friend or associate would see something or they read something or they had encountered something and they would try to dissuade you from seeing it or liking it. I remember saying to somebody, I said, why? Oh, because it's bad. And I, like how you said, I said, well, explain to me why it's bad. Because it's stupid. And I said, is it stupid to you? Or is it stupid to everybody else because you think it should be stupid to everybody else because you think it's stupid?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they're like, well, I said, no. How if I want to go see something, what happens if I like that particular trope? Well, then that's stupid. So that makes me stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So just because you don't like the color red and I like the color red, that makes me stupid. And the person was like, no, you're not. I said, no. I can understand if you don't like something, but why should I not like it if you don't like it? And if I tend to like it, now our friendship is over. This is what we had with the election. Oh, you voted for this person or you didn't vote for this person. Now we ain't cool no more. Now we breaking up in the marriage. Now you can't come to the family cookout no more. What? Huh?
I remember. Go ahead, Malik. Go ahead.
But this is what cracks me up because you have to go along to get along, or you have to be along with people. Well, that's where you realize then it's not art. You're supposed to like something or dislike something, or whatever art does is supposed to evoke your own personal emotion or your own personal liking or disliking or whatever emotion is supposed to connect to. That's what art is. That's where that's why we have these discussions. That's why it was cool to go to a comic book store and talk to a guy like Artisan, where you can geek out for a half an hour, where you have a person like us who people always thought was strangers, weird, but you could go to this place and you could talk to somebody and you realize, wow, there are people that are like me. And the person behind the counter asks you, hey, why did you like Spider-Man? Well, because of this, this, and this, and this. And the person this other person could be there and they could have a kid there, and they're talking and say, "Oh, your son likes Spider-Man." Yeah, they watch the cartoon. Well, hey, if you go get this and you show them this, and they say, "Well, this is this and this is that." Oh, wow, really? That's kind of cool. I'm gonna bring my son in. You could talk to him because he's just like you, and he would love you. Well, tell him to come in. And then if you spark that interest, now you're lighting that fuel to that kid's love for this stuff that we call art.
Yeah.
And that's where you have that connection. That's where like I say again, that passion. It was just to just to come on here to talk every Sunday, just to for 3 or 4 hours, just to talk about, like you said, anything geek shit. Why do you like this? Because it's freedom for me. Like when I went to a comic book store a couple of weeks ago, right?
Hmm.
And the guy's wife works there, and his wife was there, and I picked up comic they were holding for me, and we were just talking, and we were talking about you going to see Cap, and I said I don't know, I may not. And she was like, okay. Now, mind you, the guy who owns the shop, he's black, and his wife is white. And we were talking. Now, they opened a comic book store in a nice area where I live at, where they're cool for opening a comic book store at the tail end of the pandemic in a nice area. But the thing that helps them out, that they also sell books and tween books as well as comics and graphic novels.
Tween books to sell.
So they're hitting the market. But here's another thing though, Artisan. The guy teaches film. So me and this guy, we were talking. So his wife asked me this question. Well, I know you. She said you sound like you're a big fan of comics. You've been reading comics a long time. You've been collecting action figures a long time, like my husband. You're a little older than us. Why did you get into comics? And I automatically said,
That's
freedom.
a good question.
I said freedom, escapism. I said being a nerdy kid, but being a nerdy black kid growing up in the 70s and 80s and being an only child, all I had was my imagination and I could draw. I didn't fit in. I really didn't feel like I fit into my family. I wasn't good at sports. I mean, I was good at school, but at the same time, I'm in my head. I really didn't. I said I didn't really kick in and start really doing schoolwork until I got into high school, and I went to an all black high school. So figure this, you know, think of Stand By Me with a geeky kid in the height of the crack era. Well, all you want to do is read science fiction books, comic books, and you're the only black kid that did his biochemistry homework. And then you're on the honor roll too. So it was just, I say it was crazy. But comic books was my escapism. Cartoons was my escapism. I knew that I could go to that. But then also what comics taught me was about honor, loyalty, respect. But then I saw, here's a funny thing, and I mentioned to her, I said, I saw the real DEI in the Avengers. I saw women that they were just seen as women. You had Scarlet Witch, you had Black Widow. They weren't trying to wrestle leadership away from Captain America or Iron Man. And even when Iron Man was up as leader, okay, you deferred to him. If Cap was up, you deferred to him. They were a team that had respect for each other. Same thing when you saw Justice League. You knew who the badasses were, but at the same time, I said one thing that I learned when I was a kid, when I saw Dr. Doom, if one of his schemes went awry and he was about to kill himself, Reed Richards saved him. And I was like, why didn't he let him go? Reed Richards saw the honor in him and he always saw him as a friend. And that stuck with me. I was like, wow, honor. But also I said, I don't want to sound cliche. Uncle Ben's quote, with power comes great responsibility. And I saw that. But also I learned that, and I even failed with that as a cop. But I learned it through comics. Also, I learned how you have a team of people and where people look up to you as the leader, and your purpose is bigger than who you are. And I saw that with superheroes and realizing, okay, this is my purpose. It's not just me about being a superhero. It's about me. I have a gift. I have abilities. I'm with this group of people. It's not about us shining and basking, getting endorsement deals and, the girls like me and I'm fucking a girl because, I'm super guy. No, it's bigger than that. And that's where I started to understand the hero's journey. And she was like, oh. And also realizing at that time there was only a handful of heroes that looked like me. And I said, even Falcon starting off as a C+ character, it still made me feel good. I said, but when you started to feel good, I said, when I really, really felt good is when I saw Black Panther, when he took that mask off and I was 9 years old, like, he's black and he's a king. And he went to Oxford and got an engineering degree.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember saying to my mom, I said, where's Oxford located at? And she says, I think in England, in Europe. I said, is that a good school? She said, yeah, it's a prestigious school. Why? I said, there's a character in the comic book. He graduated from Oxford and he's a black guy. And she's like, wow, you must be smart. I was like, yeah. Then when I saw John Stewart, that comic book came out when he was in Green Lantern, was the year I was born. So 10 years later, I see the comic and I'm reading it. And John Stewart's a normal guy. He's an architect. And that blew my mind. I said, he's a normal guy. But I felt this pride well up that you didn't see him, that he was because, Falcon was an ex-con. But somehow Steve Rogers turns him around. Even though Luke Cage was framed, but he was still ex-con.
That was big in the 70s.
Yeah, so now Black Lightning was cool. He was a teacher, but you still had to have the tag Black Lightning. But it was pride seeing normal, everyday men become heroes. And one of the beautiful things was that John Stewart didn't want to wear the mask. He wanted to show people that, no, I'm black. I want you to see my face. And that was very poignant for me. And that's where I started understanding, like you said, the passion, the pride, and also more freedom. And when I would draw comic book characters, as an artist, you're free because you're creating something from your brain. And it became kind of cool because I wonder if you guys can remember this, because you always thought that if you were a black geek, you're always alone. Mm-hmm. But when you went to a comic book place and you saw other black people, it was like seeing a black person like, hey, how you doing? Oh, damn, I know you're into this stuff too. Oh, and it was like you saw like if you moved into a neighborhood, you saw another black person. It was like amazing to see that. And it felt a good connectivity. It was like, oh, I could tell you what the big thing is when you saw a female that was into it. And she loved it just as much as you, and she was into it just as passionate.
So, just to cut in here because you went on for a minute, a lot to respond to. Passion for geeks runs deep, and that's how I actually judge geeks between people who I think are not actual geeks. Now, it may sound fucked up, but I don't categorize all millennials as real geeks. I don't. Because most of their knowledge is from cartoons and the advent of a Wikipedia or
social media
reviewers, social media.
Yeah.
So this is why when I talk to Black Bane, I tell him about not getting into arguments on Facebook, because you're arguing with a bunch of idiots who don't know anything about what they're arguing about. They just know how to argue or like to argue. right? So, and that's just because they're not, for the most part, I don't see them as a generation who really reads comics. They don't. They skim comics. They gloss over comics. It's part of the culture now. Not counterculture like it was. It's part of the culture now. It's just what it is. Like when I hear them talk about, I'm sorry, I got y'all off the screen. Sorry about that. When I hear them talk about how, that, you know, their movie, their first movie was Avengers or something like that, or Iron Man or something like that. It's like, and then, you know, the other one is Star Wars. Like, oh, it's Clone Wars. Like Black Bane said, Clone Wars babies. I have to keep arguing with y'all asses about Star Wars and what Star Wars actually is, because you grew up on the Clone Wars, which I was an adult when Clone Wars came out, and I'm like, what is this shit? What is this? We're gonna go back and backfill all this stuff in there. Who wanted this? I don't want to spend all this time in the goddamn Clone Wars. I don't give a fuck. Get on with the story. Like, you know, it's those kind of cultural hallmarks that let me know where somebody came into it, because you come to geekdom when you come to geekdom.
Yeah.
Right. And me just being kind of an old fart with this shit now is like, that's where you came in. I remember what was going on at that point. It was some bullshit. You love it. You love it. It's like a dude dating a shitty girl. Like, I love her though. All right, nigga. All right, Will. You do what you want to with Jada, man. But the rest of us know she ain't about shit. Okay.
Yeah.
But have a happy life.
She even knows she ain't about shit, but come on, bro.
Yeah. So it's that, in the sense that I accept people where they came in. It's just the conversations that I hope to have is that I hope to have the conversation with people who are passionate about this shit. That actually know the shit. Like I just listened to a 2-hour interview with Comics Explained, Rob, and Comic Pop.
Oh, nice.
And it's just two geeks talking about what they read. They're talking about the absolute universe in DC and the new Ultimate Universe in Marvel, and comparing the two, contrasting what they like. And what I got out of that conversation was, I got more out of that conversation and enjoyed that more than listening to 15 8-minute videos about these people who keep rehashing other shit that either the Black Manosphere or somebody else with some flavor actually did. Cursing, talking crazy. Anthony Mackie is not American. All this other dumb shit. I got more out of that 2-hour video than a slew of these 8 to 10 minute pieces of shit. So,
Yes,
what does that to me? What does that say to me? That says to me, these are actual geeks. I can relate to this conversation, and they're talking intelligently. They talk for 2 hours and use no profanity. Made me think about myself, like maybe I should use less profanity. I try to, but I get around you guys and I get relaxed. I get really relaxed. So for me, that 2-hour conversation was what I would always want to see on my stream. But that's not what I see on my stream all the time. What I tend to see on my stream all the time is 8 to 10 minute videos with some profanity, with some glitz, and with a surface level repeated content from 4 other fucking people. And that's what bothers me.
Yeah.
Because I can listen, like AM, I can listen to somebody's live stream and them having a panel with a bunch of other creators and hear all the same shit that came out of my mouth. And just watch them go around the horn with, oh, well, I guess I know where all those views came from. They all watched the video. They ain't donating, though. And they ain't paying no props. But they repeating the shit like verbatim. Sometimes, when I'm being pissy, I put the shit in my comment section. Not my comments. I put it on my community tab because I'm hoping the people that actually watch me understands and sees that this is the type of shit that's happening. But it won't make a difference. It won't. It's a pure victory for me, I guess. But it won't. Because people don't usually care. Put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
They don't usually care. They just want information. They don't give a fuck who they get it from necessarily, unless it looks exactly like them and speaks to something that comforts their feeling. Like you two guys sitting up here, right? You good brothers. You spending time talking, geek shit. Assumably we're all geeks, right?
Yeah.
Any one of these larger channels ever ask your asses up there?
Oh, I don't know.
Can you actually ask them random ass questions without super chatting that shit?
Nope.
No. It's not even open to the regular people in the chat box. It's not. It's just open to their friends, those other content creators. Bolstering each other's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I could be pissy about the shit. I'm not. It can sound like it. I make observations. That's all I do. I make observations. And my observations sometimes don't rub people the right way. It's not supposed to. It's my observation.
Exactly.
It's not a cuddle session.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't the sensitivity police. No. Motherfucker. I just made an observation. That's it. All you need to determine if it's true or false. And from what I see, it's a lot of pomp and circumstance going on for about a lot of fake shit. And just because you said something I said louder on your bigger microphone, don't make you an originator of the thought. You're not.
But I think that's what it comes down to is it's not about your opinion, it's about power. And it's about the power to manipulate, or the power to be like, hey, I can say this thing and get X amount of people to believe or to follow me, and you don't have people following you. So I'm better or I'm more right because I have more people that believe me. Mm-hmm. So it's not even about what anybody believes. It's about how you can get people to feel about what they say versus what you say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I listened to somebody sit up there and try to take a whole talking point or a view that I have promoted as having since I started this channel. And they're trying to move into using that the whole time, but also saying at the same time that if what you had to say was valuable, your channel would be bigger. You'd have more people watching it. Well, apparently I do got a lot of people watching it. They just tend to be content creators that run back and repeat the shit. Apparently. Otherwise, you wouldn't. So my question is at that point is, so who am I not catering to? Well, since I know the 3 women that come through my channel, it's obviously not women. And since I talk about black and white issues sometimes, not as we need to do this and ban them and all the rest of that shit. No, it's just an observation, and some of this shit don't matter. And some of these white boys get butthurt over certain things. I don't think they should, but that's their opinion. They entitled to feel however the fuck they want to feel. And I curse too much because, like I said, I get around you guys and I get relaxed. I'm talking to my folks. Why do I need to censor my language? I don't talk. If I'm talking to kids, yeah, I talk a different way. I might not use profanity as much, but I'm not talking to kids. My channel is not for children. It says it very clearly.
Yeah.
That is highlighted on every video I put out. It is not for children. But I also understand, since I'm a parent, you decide what your children can hear or not. You do. If you are active, involved parent, you do. You decide what they're ready for, what they can handle. Because you know your kid. I don't. I've seen people bring their children into a bar where people drink. I might not have brought my kid into a bar, but apparently they think theirs is able to come in here and handle this shit. Maybe they got alcoholics at home. Maybe they own the bar. I don't fucking know. But it's a kid in the bar. Oh well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think about stuff like that from like a story. Like I said, I'm trying to pick up all the points, but geekdom in and of itself is made up of passionate people, and a couple, interracial or otherwise, because that's where you usually find your tribe. Black men, I'm sorry, black chicks don't like geek shit. Not a lot of them. The ones that do nowadays, they're kind of weird, and not weird in the way that's like, yeah, she hot. No, she can have some big boobies and a butt and everything else, but she'll be goofy as fuck. You'll be really wondering, like, is this bitch? She's not on the spectrum. She's just stupid.
Hey man,
I'm serious.
Or just
you
annoying.
preaching now. You preaching on a Sunday.
Just saying. It's just what it is. So if you could find one of these hot black chicks that love geek stuff and normal enough for you to deal with, knock yourself out. But if you get into geekdom, you'll see a lot of interracial couples.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that couple in your area opening a comic book store post-pandemic is a labor of love. And they together and they married? No shit.
Yeah.
You know what that means? I don't want to get to talking about bitching about women. That's another reason that I'm sure women don't come through my channel, because we talk about that shit too often. But if you want to understand this, I'm sure when he said he wanted to start that business, or they had the idea together, she didn't fault it.
Nope.
She didn't think it was stupid.
No.
She right there talking to you about comics and asked a very good question.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you like it? The same shit I ask you guys every fucking week. Did you see this? What did you think of it if you did? I'm asking your opinion.
Can I chime in on that? Remember Kevin Samuels used to say this, and you say this to black women. He says, black women, you don't know anything about your men.
No.
Other women of other races will be into their men. Now, a black woman will be into her man if she wants to get to him. She'll say, oh, if he likes comics, she'll get his comics. But here's the thing. If a man has a goal or a dream or aspiration, like opening up a comic book shop because he loves it and because he's passionate about it, a woman who loves her man, who's into her man, she's going to back him. But a lot of times, a lot of our women, because if they're not getting any real benefit out of it, you know, the superficial benefit, you know, instant gratification benefit, it's a problem. And especially if it's a goal that you have, and especially if it's a corny goal, or if it's a goal that they can't show off to their friends, or they can make a bunch of selfies and put out there, that's a problem. But a lot of other women, you know, white women, Asian women, Latin women, oh, they got your back.
Sometimes it depends on who they are. Because I can say, I've told y'all this before. I date internationally. I don't necessarily give a shit about if it's just black or. I'm not Dr. Umar. Okay, I'm not beating that damn drum. I'm from the Bay Area, California, man. I like women, and as far as I know, women come in every color. They do. So if they have a decent personality and we can vibe together, cool. The only women I've ever had a problem with working in a comic book store or liking geek stuff was usually black women. Asian ones didn't give a shit. Thought it was kind of cool. White chicks, same way. Latinas didn't care. Because it's something you like, it's something you like.
Mm-hmm.
And they're interested why you like it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, I am a damn lesbian. Big one. Now, what Rosie is talking about right here is two things, right? She said her ex-boyfriend was black and he thought it was weird how I was in the comics. Nigga, it's weird that you not. That's why you an ex, I guess. The X effect.
Hey, she got with the wrong flag too.
Look, I met a hot chick that liked comics, nigga. I look, might have to roll out our geeks together. Like, I see stuff like that nowadays, and it's like I told you about watching Rob and Comic Pop's video.
Mm-hmm.
Both of those dudes are successful YouTubers.
Mhm.
Both of those dudes are married. Geeks get
Mhm.
married. They got chicks that's into it. Rob is asking Comic Pop about what his wife likes because his wife reads comics. I love seeing shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
When I go to work tomorrow and I'm walking into some of these people's house and some of them are fucking geeks and gamers and they there talking about the same shit, playing the same shit. I love seeing shit like that. That makes my heart warm. I feel all warm and fuzzy.
Mhm.
But I don't know why he like that dumb shit. But you need to divorce. Ooh, that's a mismatch. I don't see how that works. And then Rosie's saying this will get to why she's liking comics. My dad bought me my first comic book when I was 6 years old. I'm 46 now. Obviously, you loved your father, which is one of my qualifying questions for women when I date nowadays. It's like, how do you feel about your father and what's your relationship with him? That's it. That's a qualifying question. Oh shit, she said comic history, whiskey, and football. I can do all of that. Because unlike Malika, I was very athletic. I'm still, despite me talking about I need some Advil because I'm old now. I'm athletic. I've always been athletic. I always
When I
like
was younger, I was an athletic, but now I'm athletic.
Yeah. I was always athletic. I was always into nerdy shit, and I was always into geek shit. I am painfully normal.
Painfully normal.
Painfully normal. I've been saying that shit forever. I'm painfully normal. Why? It was nothing overly out there about me. I just like the shit that I like. It's just what it is. She said my dad was my best friend. That's awesome. It's an awesome story. So, to Malika's point, I've seen women who like it, who love it, and if I wanted to be crass about it, which I think I will be at this moment, so here's a spoiler alert for why there's not a lot of women who watch this show. I never heard a complaint from any chick I banged in the comic shop about the fact that I worked in the comic shop.
Thanks.
Never.
Yeah.
Giggity. Here, this motherfucker.
Ooh.
She said she's a dork. Do you know what a dork is, Rosie? Do you know what a dork is? You want me to educate you? Ask me what a dork is so I can make everybody giggle to themselves.
Hey, artisan, what's a dork?
Dickhead. A dork is a whale penis. Do you still
I
think you're
remember
a
hearing
dork?
that back in the day.
You still
I
think
remember
you're a
hearing that
dork?
back in the day. That's some Gen X history for you. That's right. I remember hearing that back in the day.
Yeah,
dork?
really.
I've never seen a dork that looks like that. And I've watched a lot of nature shows. I watched a shitload of nature shows and it don't look like that.
Are you admitting that you buy a lot of male things?
You're breaking up, Charles. You're borging, yeah. You're borging a bit. What was your joke? Your one-liner? You're not a wheel penis? No, you're not a whale penis. You're not a dork. Dorky. You can be dorky, but not a dork. That's the point of calling somebody a dork. It's surfer lingo.
Exactly.
I'm a word nerd. Word nerd. I outed myself. I like words and slang. It's fun. Yeah. She said I'm a dork. That's what girls call it, because other girls will call each other dorks when they like that kind of stuff. Like, oh, you're a dork. Yeah. No, she has a higher chance of catching a fucking dude. Being like, damn, she cool as shit. What did y'all do? I was reading comics. What? You took her to the comic? Oh, nigga, you don't take her to the comic book store? What's wrong with you? She liked that shit. She took me. What you talking about? Man, we picked up some graphic novels and shit. We was talking about some other stuff. What the fuck? Today I learned. Yes, you have been edified for the day, Aquateki. Just so you know.
Oh no.
So she got Charles up here. She said I'm driving to Texas. Yeah, I figured. You're usually more you on the spell check, so don't worry about it. You're amongst friends. You're not grading you on a job or anything like that. Like he sent a shitty text. I'm not calling anymore. Since Charles is up here, let me see what you guys think about this real quick. I'm gonna bring this up here. I thought I was gonna bring it up here. Where the fuck is it? Oh, I didn't put it back on the stream, dumbass. Dumas's.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we got to talk about this because I do actually want to see this. So fair use. I'm sure it won't matter, but I said it twice. Fair use.
You have to do something big and important, or nobody will remember you when you're dead.
Side chest. 21 and 7 switch.
I want to be Mr. Olympia one day. I've been training for this every moment of my entire life. Like my deltoids, judges always say they're too small. Think they're liars?
Everyone's a liar. It is important that you find people that you can make an emotional bond with.
I'm asking you nicely and in a calm voice. If you're not 100%, you will never be successful.
Nobody knows who you are. Nobody.
Well, you gotta commit all energy and focus to being the greatest bodybuilder on the entire planet. That's what separates one from being a champion, one from not being a champion.
Hey guys, Helium Managers is here. Current eyepiece. No!
The world ain't fair. It ain't supposed to be fair. That's how it works.
Oof.
How are you doing, Killian?
What?
When I close my eyes and dream,
What?
they're gonna put a picture of me on the cover of the magazine. And the entire world will know my name.
Golly, man.
Thank you for clicking on our video,
Sheesh.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Looks good. It looks good.
You're muted, brother. You're muted, artist.
My bad. I did mute myself, so it wasn't background. Like I said, did that not look good?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That
Because this was supposed to come out last year, right?
Yeah. This was.
Yeah.
It's kind of
That
funny
that
because
looked
I think it could have been a great movie, but not everybody gets the Roy rage.
Well,
He probably,
you
that's
know
that trend.
that
But
you're not gonna hear much about that damn trailer coming out because he kind of brown
it's not.
blacklisted.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to like
Brown-listed.
Jonathan Majors anymore.
Yeah.
Boo, Jonathan Majors, boo, black man.
Grr, how dare he have a movie out?
Well, that was the one that was coming out. Like they said, like they put the title up there, the astonishing movie to make Jonathan Majors from an actor to a legend. I was like, I think it's legendary right now. He got screwed.
Yeah. Because I think it was supposed to come out last year along with a bunch of other stuff,
You get
right?
the screw making good.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but that's a good looking film though, man. He looks good. He I don't know.
Looks
I
like
want to
a
know his
cinematic masterpiece.
Hey, Charles, I want to know what his stack looked like. I don't know what he's taking. Because I know he was on some stuff for that one.
Nah. Who's showing the record did RV? So I saw that trailer and I was thinking that once this Captain America 4 stuff comes out and they get done, roasting that shit, they'll be trying to roast that movie too. If they're not trying to figure out it completely.
They don't know anything about bodybuilding. This is a bodybuilding movie.
They still saying negative
different.
shit about Captain America 4.
So Aquateki, this is not him getting work. He had done this movie a while ago. When you saw him puffed up in Creed, this was one of the other movies he was doing at that time.
Mm-hmm.
This was one of the movies that was supposedly be getting shelved when he went through all that shit about that white chick. This was the main movie.
Yeah.
So he ain't been getting no work since that case.
Nope.
But this was already done.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, any movie you see it is already 2 years old, at least. So this old work that hopefully we'll get some promotion off of.
I hope all this BS blows over and let the brother.
They ain't never blown over. Come on, man.
Let him breathe.
Yeah, I'm glad the movie's come out too. Charles, I'm gonna mute you because you got a lot of background. Somebody fumbling and futzing with stuff.
Nah, it looks good. I mean, like I said, people don't know about bodybuilding. That's a bodybuilding movie. If you don't know the sport and the culture around it, none of it makes sense. It's kind of like, did you ever see Whiplash?
Yep.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like if you don't know music or the music, like studying music and going to music school, it was like, that's weird. Like, why are they doing all of this? Why are they going here and doing that? It's that kind of world doesn't make sense to people. And so you're like, they only see it for a surface level. Well, that's either good or bad. And it's like, no.
Also like the wrestler too.
Yeah, the wrestler. I would say
Iron
it's
Claw?
No, the wrestler.
The wrestler. I didn't see that one. I didn't see that one though.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that one though. Got you.
I would say it's more. It's a deep dive into the people who would be involved in something like that. More than let me finish.
My bad.
Whiplash was awesome. That's another one of my new classic movies that I like. I own that movie Whiplash because I've watched that like 5 or 6 times. I love that damn movie. I do. That performance is killer. J.K. Simmons and Miles Teller did good on that. But if you know a little bit more about music and drumming and stuff like that, how prestigious the school is and stuff like that, it'll mean a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
You don't understand why this dude is yelling at this motherfucker and trying to bring greatness out of him by being what you could consider in nowadays cushy terms as verbally abusive. Diamonds aren't made with pillows. Diamonds are made from pressure, not pillows. You have to stress people sometimes to bring the best out of them. Plain and simple. And that's what happens in Whiplash. This story about this bodybuilder is a black bodybuilder trying to be, Mr. World, whatever he said on the cover of the magazine. And all the people on the magazines already is white boys.
Yep.
So he's breaking in and trying to reset a standard. He might not be thinking that at the time, but this is a dream he wants to have. He wants to be this person on this cover. And what he goes through to do that, because you already know the stereotype or the saying that, if you're black, you got to work 2 times harder anyway.
Yeah.
Because your daddy ain't getting you in, and your skin is going to be the first thing that bar you from it. You ain't never changing that shit. So no matter how sculpted you are, you got to be more sculpted.
Yeah.
So them going into that, the motherfucker was possibly taking steroids too. I'm like, wow, they gonna show that? Woo.
Yeah, I was like, ooh.
Come on, man. That puts a different light on anybody that's buff. That's why I thought it'd be interesting for Charles to look at that shit. Because not that Charles takes I'm not saying that Charles takes steroids, but Charles is a big dude and he lifts heavy. I think he'd be interested in seeing a movie like that. But even as much as we know brothers might be interested in seeing that movie is not going to get no promotion. That money.
Yeah.
It's not going to get no promotion. Only if you see promotion on that movie, it's going to be somebody talking shit about it. It ain't going to usually be. They're not usually going to be black. They're trying to fade this motherfucker away the same way they're trying to erase Kang from the MCU as much as possible. That motherfucker had sat in a position too quick that could have, eclipsed RDJ too fast. They got rid of his ass way too quick. Nope, going on to something else. So, what else y'all got? I got to see the wrestler.
It was just those snippets from the trailer. You see this brother's range.
Yeah.
Just what he could do with just a look and just simple intonations in his voice. That's why I love watching movies. When now you're making me invested in a character. This brother makes me invested in the character. My thing is, take me on a ride. That's why I love the story. That's why I love the escapism, That's why I love this. That's why I love actors like Jonathan Majors who have that great range, who have passion about it, who are great actors, who are great artists in their craft. And no matter what the story is, because the thing is, like, all right, before the total scandal and everything that got there, this guy could have done the great Hollywood route of doing movies, but he started doing great flicks as well as the Hollywood popcorn movie. But I'm going to do this movie that's coming out, and I said, okay, this brother's still for the artistry of the movie. And just other movies that he has done where you see him that you just totally get drawn in. That's where you see the hero's journey within these characters.
This movie,
I can't wait till it comes out in the theaters. I'm definitely going to go. I'm going to search for it because I know it's not going to get main movie theater run. I'm definitely going.
No.
Even if some
I'd be surprised if it hit more than 200 something theaters.
Yeah.
If you know anything about bodybuilding, part of the story kind of reminds me of
interesting take. Looks
Go ahead, Matt and Charles. You must be on a delay, Charles.
Something like that.
Part of the story reminds me of, if you know anything about bodybuilding, Robbie Roberts.
I think it's very theatrical, in its premise. It's not like I guess they're showing the dedication and somewhat the ugly side of bodybuilding because when you try those type of drugs or performance enhancing, it's like anything else in life. Too much of a good thing can be detrimental, but it's a good take because there's always been a stigma within the sport of bodybuilding anyway.
Everybody does it.
Yeah. So, I don't think that's the main part of the movie. It's just something that happens in it. But
yeah. It's alluding to it at least. Because, like you said, a lot of people in the magazines are not black. You see more black athletes now. But let me see, the first Mr. Olympia,
that's what I was going
Lee Haney back in the 80s.
Yeah. That's what I was going to talk about. This still reminds me, partially reminds me of.
And it's been around since like the 50s or 60s.
Charles, hold on a second. Charles, can you hear Matt when he talks?
No.
Okay. So, Matt, go ahead, and then Charles, I'll give you the signal. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, so I was going to say, it reminds me of Robbie Robertson. I don't know if people know that name. If you know bodybuilding, Robbie Robertson, they called him the Black Prince. He was originally, if you saw the old Pumping Iron from way back in the day, like the 80s, yeah, that was him. Robbie Robertson was that guy. I've listened to him speak a bunch of times. He went to Joe Weider who was the Weeder is the guy, like the main bodybuilder guy with all the white boys in the magazine. And he would go and he said, "Yo, Joe, I want to be in your magazine." He said, I don't put blacks in my magazine. That was back in the 70s. And Robbie looked better. If you saw that movie, he looked better than Arnold. He looked better than everybody. But he got blacklisted. He got blackballed from ever really winning anything. And he never won because he was this black dude, but he was better than everybody else. But at that time, you're talking about the mid late 70s, there was no place for it, not in bodybuilding. So yeah.
So Charles, if you come back, do you know about Robbie Robinson? Is what Matt was saying. He bounced out, so he's going to try to reconnect to make sure he can hear you guys.
Remember Sergio Olivier, Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Most of the best genetics in bodybuilding aren't white boys. That's the kind of the not so nice truth about the sport.
It's not surprising.
Yeah. I know some IFBB pros, and when I tell you one guy, he started bodybuilding training for 2 years, just 2 years, and in 2 years he got his pro card. Another guy, he didn't actually take drugs to bulk; he took drugs to cut and got his IFBB, got his pro card.
Oh.
Yeah, both of them black guys, and got like some of the worst training ever, and still wound up getting their pro cards off of like genetics alone.
Charles, you back?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear Matt? He's not talking at the moment. But
Matt who?
Mr. Matt, say something, Matt.
Can you hear me, Charles?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys were just talking over each other before. So.
Yeah, bionic sewing, yeah.
Got that bionic. So he was talking, Matt was interjecting Robbie Ross and him getting on the covers and how he actually got on the covers of the magazine. Talking to Joe Weeder, and I was asking if you knew about him at all.
Oh yeah, that's the guy. When you look at the Wheeler statue, that's his body.
Yep.
And they replaced it with Joe Wheeler's face, which I think was a travesty. That always proves to you how envious they are. Because even if you really look at that man, even in his 70s, he's still cut like a bag of Colombian dope. You go look at him in his prime. Do you really think Schwarzenegger could compare to him?
Not at all.
Do you really think, like, I look at guys like Lee Haney, because my wrestling coach was also a track and field and pro bodybuilding fan. That's where a lot of the exercises come in, brother. You look at Lee Haney. I don't think anybody had better legs than him, ever. The most defined, I would say, is what's the guy name again?
Tom
the black
Platz.
guy.
Black guy. Flex.
I think. Well, Frank Zane, probably the most defined. You don't hear about. I think he edges Tom Platz. Because he had very good symmetry. Like he looked like an anatomy chart. And even with Platz, I think Platz is up there as well. But there's so many guys in this sport where now you have the era of the mass monsters, where it's like, I got to get bigger, bigger, where you can have a gut and compete on stage, and people think that's stage worthy. In the 80s, you wouldn't be laughed off.
Yeah, I think that's going away though. I think it's heading in a quote unquote better space. I think that whole mass monster being as massive as possible is going away. Not as quickly as one would hope, but I think it's happening. Just because we really don't see it happening much now.
Right, and it's what's putting them to shame is at least it's the classic competition is putting them to shame. because notice you're going to be the quintessential V taper.
Yeah.
So and you're getting, they have so many different things. I mean, yes, if you're in the pro, I'm going to say this, and I don't care who you are, what you think. There's there's nobody who's 100% natural in any pro sport. Get over it.
Nope.
Get over it. There is no way in hell you're going to tell me motherfuckers competing for 20 years and you can count on one hand how many injuries they had and still have fingers left over if they didn't have something. So get that out your mind. You talk bullshit. You're most of these sports, you're running your body through the hole. People don't know. If you have a job to feed your family, you're gonna find out ways to either one, defeat the test, or two, take something that they allow but have not banned yet.
Charles, they're tested, not natural.
Yeah.
It is something that
Yeah, I tell people that all the time. Well, it's hard to tell people that though. You can't.
You can't. Your body would give up. Like,
yeah, I tell people all the time. Pro sports is one of the most unhealthy things you can do in terms of how it treats your body. Now, it is not as dangerous as like, doing heroin or anything. It's not about like the danger, but it's about the unhealthiness of like the long-term health effects of joints and quality of life down the road. Like you don't have it. I've worked with some NBA and NFL guys in my career, what I do. And now when I tell you, I'm talking about Achilles I'm talking about walking like you 70 when you're 35. Like these guys, they don't move well. And people say, why do these guys get paid like this? Because you're not getting paid for now. You're getting paid because you're never going to get this money again. And you have to use this money to live. You got 50 more years of life.
It's for when you get old.
Yeah. Because it seemed cool now having, $50 million when you're 23, but when you 53 and you can barely remember your own name or your kids' names, or you got trouble getting out of bed in the morning, it's like, hey, you can't get that money. So hopefully you saved it.
That's the same argument for the old stripper who got the quadruple double D's. Like she can get this now, she can't get it later. She had them back problem.
Facts. Yep. You got it. Hey,
back problem. Can't walk right. That's because of that. There you go.
Yep. Hopefully you were smart with your money when you were young.
Shit. When it's time to get a breast reduction.
Yeah. Turns out when you 6'9.5" and 270, you can't get a knee reduction. You can't get a leg reduction. It is what it is.
Shoulder blades and all the rest of that shit.
Oh yeah.
So Charles, since you were up here, I'm trying to remember what it was. I saw something in my storage that made me think of your ass. And I'm having a senior moment right now of remembering what it was.
It's the steroids.
Never. I barely take vitamins, dude. It's not like shots. Don't like pills.
Oh man,
don't like shots and don't like pills. No, I've had one of my exes have bought me the big, 500 count of Men's Health vitamins twice. Let the motherfuckers go bad twice. I am not the pill taker, dude. I do not take pills. It's unnatural for me to swallow on a regular basis. It's weird. It's weird. It's stupid. But she's trying to help. She's trying to help. She cares about my health. Yeah. I appreciate that. But tough sell. Tough fucking sell.
Yeah.
Anyway, Charles, you watching? You probably, I think you talked about it before, your little views on this Captain America shit. I'm sure you probably heard that Anthony Mackie, according to some people, said something stupid again. and that he's trying to be not American. And that's what they're running with right now, is that Captain America is not American. Because he said Captain America didn't, necessarily represent him. He wasn't taking it as him representing just America, which is true. He don't. But, given marketing, that's one of the things they're running with. I didn't hear this latest story that they were complaining about, but I see two other big streamers. That's the main thing they want to talk about right now. It's like, you're not going to go see the fucking movie anyway. Why do you care? Why do you care? I'm going to go see the movie regardless. I might even go see the shit in IMAX just because because it's Falcon and he's flying, it might look good in, IMAX. I'm just assuming. Guy flying through the sky, I like that shit. But shitting on it, I'm sorry. The movie still ain't even out yet, right? Well, what the fuck is in this movie? That should look nice to me. It's no different than watching Superman flying through the sky. The only difference is he got wings. So, whatever. I don't care about it. I'm tired of talking about it, and it's quickly reaching the point like it did with that damn Indiana Jones movie. I just want the shit to come out so we can get over with, so they can stop fucking talking about it and move on to something else, which I'll assume will be Jonathan Majors shitting on his movie that he can actually make some money off of, because it ain't about racism, but it is about fuck that nigga.
Definitely a fuck that nigga moment. It's funny. It's funny. My godson was saying he was trolling a little bit about people being in sports 15, 20 years not on something. I said, yeah, everybody's on something. They just don't admit it. Even Mayweather was on some shit.
No,
he got popped.
Well, that's the thing. What you're saying to me is valid, right? Just because of the fact that every time they change up these rules a little bit, you find stuff that these people were on, that they were using, that was just skirting below the line. Oh, it's a performance enhancer now. It's not a steroid.
Yeah.
All right. Isn't that
I'm
the
sorry.
same thing?
Yeah. I'm sorry. If I'm paying $400 for tickets, I better see some superhuman shit.
Well, that was kind of the reason I never got overly upset about that. It's similar to me when Tyson bit Holyfield's ear, right? I wasn't upset. I thought it made fighting more interesting. It's like, it is a fight though, right?
You don't remember the actual fight, even though I saw it. I've seen it live.
Hugging up all the time.
I saw it live, but you remember that damn bite 25 years ago, 35 years ago.
And it'll teach them not to be leading with a headbutt. Okay.
Yeah, stop leading with your head.
Yeah, stop leading with your hair. You do that shit again, I'm gonna bite your fucking ear off. No, you ain't. He bit me. Yeah, nigga. What did I tell you?
And it's been Holyfield, as great as a fighter he is, he's always been known for that.
Look, I'm a baseball fan. I like baseball, right? Of all the sports that I have played, baseball is by far my favorite, right? And it goes all the way down to liking the fans at a baseball game, because it's always more hotter chicks half naked.
Oh, it's the shoulders. Jesus.
Right. Legs out, boobs out. It's a nice day. Catch fly ball, baby. So when people was getting busted for steroids and stuff like that, I wasn't overly upset about it. Yeah, they're talking about, it ruined the purity of the game and all that dumb shit. It's like, yeah, but all them black folks that you kind of left out of them home run derbies and shit like that when they was playing in the Negro leagues, they had no steroids. So shit has happened. It made it more interesting. You already got bats. Let the motherfuckers go out on the field and beat the shit out of each other. I don't care. Make it more interesting. Make it like WWE or something. Because one of the funniest things in baseball to me to see is, a batter, big buff batter, charged the mound because he got a little bit too close to his chin or something. That's entertaining to me. I'm sorry. That's when it happened. So if you get a little bit more of that because they taking these steroids, who gives a fuck? But it's just a way later on to be besmirching people's records and shit. I don't care. Look, get out there and play the game. He still had to go out there and try to hit this shit. Okay, he's a little bit stronger. It ain't making him more accurate. It ain't helping his vision none. It ain't helping his sex game none. He still got to get up there and try to hit this goddamn 100-something mile an hour little ball. If he connects, it might get a little bit extra oomph over the fence. Well, that's what you want to see anyway, right? That brings butts to the seats. What you complaining for? Records don't mean shit. So Roy's didn't help them hit the ball. It just went farther. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, studio. Oh, so it just gave him a power increase, so he took it farther? Okay, so what are we upset about? You sold games off of that shit. Some of the shit I don't care about, and the other side of it is I just expect it. Just expect it. If you're in any field where your body is your main selling point, I expect you to be doing something. Like chicks getting boob jobs, or lip jobs, or Botox, or all that other shit. Or a competitive bodybuilder probably jab something in his ass one time. And not the way some of you dirty motherfuckers is thinking about it. I'm just saying.
That's post-competition.
Yeah. Yeah. We're talking about the competition phase, not the post and pre-competition. Curveballs and knuckleballs. Yeah. I'm sorry. Steroids ain't helping you hit that motherfucker. What is it? Fix your reaction time? Come on, man. Take it further. Shit, I'd want a steroid just so it don't hurt as much. So
when you look at those old wrestling pictures of Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson Sr., come on. I mean, they were in great shape. But even Tony Atlas, man, he was saying, man, we always taking steroids back then.
But you got to think, steroids was looked at as a performance enhancer. I'll tell people candidly that I tried steroid for an experiment. Sure. Made you horny to the motherfucker. Strong as it made you recover. But here's the thing. You know, I was already naturally strong, but the recovery was definite. You got to think, if you have injuries or you have bad ligaments, what do they give you?
Steroids.
Or inflammation. Steroids.
Yeah, that's what I was going to point out to you. Like, isn't there some medical? It's not even a medical procedure. Like, if you go to a hospital for a certain thing, they will give you fucking steroids.
What do you think a cortisone shot is?
Exactly.
I mean, steroid. So when you look at it, right, it goes back to what I said earlier. The overabundance of something is when you get into the danger zone of it. You got guys who are in their 70s who use some type of steroid or testosterone, and they're just as healthy as shit. Do they overuse it? No. It's just that you had people who had, a lot of times you had people who had preconditions to using it, or they had an overabundance. And when I look at it, if you took people natural, I'll say, remember those late 1890s, 1920s pictures of the strong men? That was natural body types.
Yeah.
Go to fucking Africa, especially places in like Nigeria and Ghana, where guys got more testosterone than a goddamn bull elephant. And they just wake up with 8-pack abs, you know, dick like a fire hose and shit, you know, just cut like a bag of dope. Like,
somebody in the background love that shit.
I know, right? Yeah. My godson was dying. He's cooking burgers and he's dying, man.
Yeah,
he heard. And it's like, think about it. When I was a teenager, I was this skinny little, like basically the Peter Parker story. You go to sleep skinny as shit, wake up, you like, what the fuck is this in the mirror?
Yep. I am ripped.
People asking me, how much did you work out? Work out? What's that?
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Like lift box and shit. Yeah,
my
studio.
coach
That's
looked at
what I
me
was.
once. My coach
That's
looked
the,
at me one time. He was like, "No, you bring your ass to this wrestling room."
well, like studio saying the lifting rocks and shit. That's what I was thinking about yesterday when I was lifting all of that shit. I was thinking about. I'm older now. I used to be a lot stronger. I wouldn't even feel the shit I was doing yesterday. Wouldn't even feel it. But it was because the nature of the work that I was doing. I would always tell people it's hard and it's heavy. Everything is really hard and everything is really heavy. Pause. If you want to pause, that's your business. Don't use that shit. Right. And I realized that when I'm lifting like my toolbox, my original toolbox when I was an apprentice. Motherfucker was heavy as shit. I had to put that shit on a dolly. The bars, my Burt bar, my other breaker bar that I had, that shit was heavy as fuck.
That breaker wrench is a mother. That's a weapon.
Hit myself in the forehead with that bitch, like, oh, I'm going out.
It's
I was
big
like, I used to lift, but I remember lifting that motherfucker and be holding that shit with one hand or carrying it up a wall or some shit. Now I'm sitting here holding shit like, damn, this is heavy as fuck. I used to carry this.
You know, it's kind of funny. The opposite was kind of for me, like when I was like 22, 23 in my first bench press contest, I couldn't get past the 300 stage. Like I was at 290, 298, couldn't get to 3.
Mental block.
And it was so funny because it was just that damn heavy. I was pushing. Like, I mean, I had toes dug into the ground, everything.
That 5 more pounds made that much of a difference?
They can.
Yeah,
even
900 and 1,000.
Yeah. I mean, it can. And people think that's funny. That's the reason why you have weight classes in combat sports. 10 pounds of muscle will fuck you up if you're not prepared for it.
Shit.
And, you know, I started like, you know, going back to 250 and just repping as much as I can. So I built up the strength. Now I can do reps at 300. Like, there's times I will do 10 reps at 360.
Jesus Christ. You and Bane. Like I'm serious. I've asked him this many a times when I always see his videos of him lifting, and I know him personally, right? And I know how big this motherfucker is just in life. And then he's sitting there lifting 300, 400 pounds or something like that. Like, why the fuck? Why? Like, I always ask that question. I don't have a issue with being strong or lifting weight. I don't. I like doing the shit, right? But for me, it was always a point of how much I needed to lift, right? I just like doing it to be cut and be toned and healthy. That's fine. I wasn't interested in going over 300 pounds or getting up to 300. I can get close, but I wasn't interested in that shit. It just didn't interest me to get that high up in the weight because I'm asking myself, well, what am I going to do with that shit? What am I going to do with it? Am I going to be a professional bodybuilder? No, I'm not interested.
To go beyond.
Yeah,
plus
to go beyond, plus ultra, right? You trying to be all night? Look, man, I ain't got no school.
For me, it was kind of an interesting event because I got to buy me a camera for my laptop and my desktop. Too many cool pictures, man. Too many coolness. But for me, it was 2 things. One, it was sports for wrestling because strength may not be everything, but it's a thing.
It's a thing, especially wrestling.
It's a god. And when you remember Dre when he used to come on BGS's live streams? I'm 5'10". Dre has to be every bit about 5'6" to 5'7". I went to Lake Clifton, he went to Dunbar. That motherfucker was one of the strongest pound for pound human beings I ever met. And I'm not a weak motherfucker by any measure. Him and Minor, 2 of the strongest motherfuckers I ever wrestled.
And that's a compliment.
And that's a compliment.
Strong your ass is like, damn, this motherfucker's like, yeah, he's strong. Oh, my God. We got to get shot on his bicep. This nigga right here.
And it's funny. The funniest part about it was outside of Mr. Brown, those were 2 of the strongest guys. Even I felt I wrestled heavyweights and didn't feel that type of power.
Mhm.
And that dude, like I can pin people. Like I put NCAA Division I heavyweights just sparring around with him. I put them on their back in 30 seconds. That dude, if I tried to pin him, he was so strong that he could balance on one shoulder from getting pinned and push my body off of him. And I'm like, whoa, that's not normal.
No, it don't even sound normal.
No, that's like that Superman Dark Side.
Look,
Oh, you can take it, huh?
If you at home or if you're playing at home, lay your ass on the floor and put one shoulder down and press your legs and your upper body up and see how hard that is just lifting your ass.
Mm-hmm.
Try it. Just hold it for 3 minutes.
People were like, well, how that ain't nothing. And you're talking about a time when I was 170, 171, and I had about 3.5% body fat. That was just pure muscle. So if you could do that to somebody who's like basically as dense as a brick, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to work for this, am I?
Bane and my old buddy, my ex-buddy, Raj. Raj was really into lifting because he was a nerd. He used to get beat up and shit at school. He got really into lifting. And he got pretty big. He trained me for a while. We worked out together, and he hated that I would gain really quickly. But I have a naturally athletic body. It's just a natural gift.
And plus,
so I would gain really quick, right? So he complained on a job one time because we got on this job and they kept giving him all this heavy shit to lift. And I told him, I said, well, if you show up here looking like Tony Atlas, don't be surprised if somebody giving you a world to hold up, nigga.
Exactly. You know, I remember I was curling the 60s.
Like a big buck in construction? What?
Nigga, yeah, you like
to lift.
nigga looking like he could be the stunt double for Michael Clark Duncan in Green Mile.
Yeah. Come on, man. Yeah.
Like, yeah, boss.
Shit to lift.
Like,
difference is I'm right out here with you lifting this heavy shit, and I don't look like you.
Yeah. And it's crazy because, you know, I remember one day I'm curling the 60s, did about 4 sets of 10. And I'm feeling good. I got an early morning pump. Morning time, we get this call for a guy with a gun threatening to kill somebody in the house and himself. And hey, Lieutenant Kamigna at the time, shout out to him, enjoy your retirement. He gives me the shield, and I'm like, oh my God. He's like, I'm like, I'm good, LT. And there's 2 reasons he gave me the shield. 1, I'm strong enough to hold it, and 2, he actually knows my background in the military of dealing with such a threat. Mm-hmm. And that's working for guys like him was enjoyable because he actually valued your prior or current experience. Because he's like, when we had a shooting, he's like, Falk, you know, take your background, how good you could shoot from here to here from that distance or that angle. I said, if you give me a rifle, I would not miss 1 shot. And he was like, okay. And I said, oh. And it was funny because that's how the detectives caught the suspect, because they were looking for a guy with a handgun. And I said, no, that's a short barrel rifle. No, you got to, because of the penetration and the angle. And it was like, damn, that's so smart. That's what some people think I couldn't be a detective. Fuck them. But, you know, it's one of those things when you're trusted to be the strong guy, but not all the time you want to be the strong guy. And there's a lot of times I had to tell people in the Department of Military, you should respect me for my mind and my intellect, because I think within 5 to 10 minutes of speaking with me, you might think this guy has a brain or 2, you know, a little bit of intellect. You know, I might not be the smartest guy, but
you say I might not be the smartest guy, but I ain't the dumbest one either.
Not the dumbest, far from the dumbest. And they're like,
let's just pitch to the middle and not offend each other.
Yeah. And it's like, how did you figure this out? I saw what y'all did and do the complete opposite. And I think it's a certain dichotomy, especially for Black men, where, you know, we we've been valued for our physicality and not for our intellectual prowess. And think about it, when you're doing construction or you're doing maintenance or anything like that, the angles, the geometry, and also, the style and guile and know-how of dealing with stuff, like just to plaster a wall or to use foam, and then you got to saw off the little excess that you get off, sand it down and spackle that shit down if necessary, if you want to make it
That shit hurt. That shit hurt. They keep giving it to me on this job because they know I can do it. My supervisor knows I can do it, but I actually hate that shit. And it's sheetrocking and mudding a ceiling. I fucking hate that shit. Reason I hate it is because I'm a kind of big guy. Yes, I have nice, big, broad shoulders. But this shit for an hour hurts.
That shit, especially if you got large delts and large arms, that is very fatiguing. People don't understand how fatiguing this motion is.
Oh my God!
That is very fatiguing. Like one time, I had to stop shoulder pressing for like almost 3 months just to heal.
Look, it's basically this. I'll explain it to you guys just to so you can laugh about the shit. Outside of having your mud pan, which could be like a pound or two of mud in there, right? Because it's water and mud together. You're holding it at a 45, so you already got this shit creased up already the whole time, right? And now you're doing this shit.
If you want to get bigger, and here's the thing: if you want to get a bigger bicep, that's how you actually engage it. You slightly twist, because now your bicep's totally engaged. Which is not the biggest part of your arm, by the way. It's actually the smallest.
No. After an hour, that shit hurts. Your wrist, your forearm, your shoulder, your delts, your bicep on the other hand. Dude, it's regularly you have to shake that shit out. Like, I got noodle arm, man. That shit hurt. But they regularly give me shit like that because I know how to do it. But this is the stuff that you don't think about while you're doing it, that it actually gains a lot of strength. That's why when I was younger, an apprentice, my buddy would go work out in the morning before we went to work in the morning and then do all this steel form and heavy lifting and all this bullshit all day and then leave, go home, and then work out again in the morning. Like, I wasn't thinking about that shit then.
That's why people always ask me, why don't you work legs during your work week? And a rookie also asked me that. And I was like, watch this. At some point, we got one running. I said, okay, you did legs, right? Go run after him.
Go chase his ass. I've never been scared of a flight of stairs until I did leg workout in the middle of a week. I've never been so scared of a flight.
Only on days off. You got 2 good days. You got 2 good days for legs. Fuck you. You could just your legs are the strongest part of you could torch them for 2 whole days.
Yep.
Guess what? You can only and if you're stupid if you do it on one of your days off. You do it the time you get off that day. Let's say you worked earlier that day.
Mm-hmm.
You go into the gym, work legs. You might work them again tomorrow, and you take that whole day to rest and soak. Yeah. Man, I remember they had 2. The Northern District has a top level and a bottom level for parking. Your stabilizers will give when your hamstrings are work, your stabilizers will look like gelatin coming down the steps. You literally have to walk down the steps backwards because your hams are just done. People think that's a fucking joke. I'm like, dude, you don't want that.
My gym had a flight of stairs to go down to the locker room to get your shit. And I did legs. And that flight of stairs had to be, well, I'm a carpenter, so it's about a 12-foot rise, right? Because it's below ground. That stairwell, that concrete stairwell with the metal nosing, it looked like a death trap. And I walked down them stairs like a gingerly old bastard, like holding on to the rail. Like, oh my God, like Mr. Glass in Unbreakable. Like, oh shit, I got to get down here, but this could be it.
Oh yeah,
painful. It was painful.
Like
Going down was
I
scary.
remember
Going up was painful.
those physically laborious jobs like construction. I always include, home remodeling, home repair, actual street construction, plumbing. I put that under the umbrella. So when I say that, people understand that's the umbrella. If you're in the public safety realm, technically, if you want to be honest, I'm a second generation public safety because my mother was in crossing guard for 30 years, 32 years, and my father military. So technically, actually, if you want to count military, I'm like the fourth or fifth generation to join. My nephew's either the fifth or sixth.
Studio, I got a cramp right now.
Those physically laborious jobs, man, and that's why I said you have to take some shit, protein, creatine, something, some type of painkiller, because you don't get a chance to heal up like a lot of people. And
Right back up the next day.
you got to be right back up. Let's say we catch one motherfucker early in the morning. He wants to fight the cops. Okay, he gets arrested. Lock him up. Let's say it takes 3 hours. And that was 7 in the morning. You're back out on the street, what? Around 11, 12. Next thing you know, you get a domestic or a car accident, or you might even get a car accident in front of you. Like, I remember people looked at me with such weirdness working with me, and I'm not bragging. It's just what people tell me because to me it's normal. And they're like, "We saw you grab a dude out of a car accident. Notice we couldn't unlock the car because it was mangled." He said you just put your foot on the fucking car, you braced your other hand, and you just pulled the goddamn car open and bent it. I was like, we had to save his life.
Adrenaline, not thinking about it.
Yeah. They were like, the fire department came there and said, "Damn, I didn't know the police got the jaws of life." I was like, I didn't even know what he was talking about because I was so in the zone. What you talking about? Like, usually we need to cut the guy out. Like, what did y'all get the jaws of life training? No, I just pulled it open. He looked at me with the weirdness.
Right. Yeah.
But it also, I tell people to work out because, when you get older, you don't want osteoporosis, especially for women because you have lighter bone density. You don't want to be one of them people who can't grip coming down the steps and you're older and you can't grip the steps or you can't pull yourself up because I remember the old commercials. I've fallen and I can't get up.
Exactly. That not being able to walk correctly is the thing that gets me. Like, a mother is 60 something and she's heavy, very big legs. She has to sit with very little feet. That's the main thing I worry about with her is her mobility. She has a cane right now, but she could stand to lose some weight. That would help. It's like that's the part that bothers me. It's like, man,
that's scary because the
mobility is.
I tell a lot of black people, you ain't gotta be Arnold Schwarzenegger, but you want to be able to like fucking have enough strength to catch yourself if you fall.
And that's what you
want to be able to pull yourself out of something. And people don't realize, look at your ancestors. They were probably very strong, not because they were trying to get a girl or something. It's because I had to not only because frailness means death. Okay. I gotta fight off this fucking lion or this bear somehow with a pointy stick. This motherfucker got 6-inch claws.
6-inch
and
claws.
1,000 pounds on me.
A lot of muscle.
Somehow I get to kill this motherfucker. But not only, let's say you're one of the successful motherfuckers, right? Somehow you had to drag this big bitch back to the village. Jesus Christ. You're like, you're now a man. No, nigga, that nigga's from Krypton. You dragged a 1,500-pound bear just for us to cook and eat? What the fuck? You get the fuck everybody. Leave that nigga alone. Oh shit! Like, man, people don't realize that shit.
That's what they say. The spoils of war. Like, man, if I had to do all that shit, you asking a lot of a little skinny Negro on the Serengeti. Look,
Like,
I need
shit,
you and your sister tonight. Because look,
I need your sister. I need your big butt cousin. Hell, your mama still look good. Shit.
Right.
Shit.
Husband
God,
lying. Look.
Like, that's called the eat a dick doctrine. Like, how did you survive? Eat a dick. Like, eat a dick. Fuck you.
So you got some final thoughts, Charles? I'll go ahead and get out of here and eat me some.
Woo! Never claimed to be shit. Love you all. Later.
Peace. Peace, peace, peace. That was the one and only Charles Faulkner Jr., officer of the goddamn law, Panthro, Darkness. I had to talk about his ass the other day, last week, laughing with a friend of mine, talking about, I know one motherfucker that called me light-skinned. On the East Coast, Charles called me light-skinned. He was laughing about that shit. I was like, I ain't never been called light-skinned in 50 fucking years. Oh, well, I didn't know I had that privilege. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here, you guys. Thank you for showing up for the late show. The main point, if you missed it all of this, is always originality and your freedom. Freedom of thought, freedom of action, freedom of expression. Freedom to put what you want out there into the world and have it received. I won't say without bias, but have it received in a way where you hope that people will look at it, make their opinion on it after they've digested what you've put out. Now, if you didn't think there was a relation between me talking about the menu and me talking about the Captain America 4 movie, that's the relation. Look, the MCU has been floundering for a while. We also know that this Captain America 4 movie has been floundering. Rewrite after rewrite after rewrite, which is not the actor's fault. It's not. It's the MCU's fault. It's not the actor's fault. Going after the actor now because he says something you didn't like ain't doing shit. But already submitting what you've already said from the jump is that you didn't care about this movie and didn't like it because it wasn't the Captain America you wanted to see. So you don't need to put 10 on a 5. We good. We already got your 5 cents on it. We already got your 5 on it. We good. I understand. You don't like it. You don't want to watch it. Cool. Then I won't look for a review from you. I won't. You should have nothing to say about it. Right? Let people go out and watch it and have their own opinion on it. And maybe it falls in line with yours. Maybe it does. But they have the right and the freedom to do just that. To come back with their own opinion, because people like me, that's what I want to hear. I want to hear their opinion. Not what you've been force fucking into their ears for a whole year about how much you dislike the movie. What up, Artie? You're late, man. I'm closing out. God damn it, Rosie. Talking about I do look light skinned. It's the light. The light. So, as we talked about in the menu, it was about an artist's work not being appreciated for what they put out. It's the same thing with Anthony Mackie in this movie. His work in the movie, regardless of what the damn shitty script is or not, will be overshadowed by how much people don't want to have to like the character of Falcon as Captain America. Jonathan Majors, for as great of an actor as he is, this movie Magazine Dreams will be overshadowed by the shit that people don't want to hear from him because of that goofy ass bullshit case. And his art will not be appreciated. His performance probably won't be appreciated. And it will get little or no attention whatsoever. The only thing he and Captain America 4 have in common is they both star in black male leads. And this is where we are in this culture. Like Charles was just saying, they're fine with you being the buck, strong guy. They don't want to listen to your intelligence. And they don't want to give you any respect for that. I know that better than most. So, what I would say is find your freedom, black men. Whatever makes you feel good. Shut up, Artie M4. Toasted cinnamon. Y'all is not shit. Love y'all, but y'all not shit. Toasted cinnamon. This motherfucker called me Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Like, wrong as shit. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to take my toasted cinnamon light-skinned ass out of here. artisanmc. This has been the Hero's Journey. I do this every Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, unless I am on call or another matter is pressing. Otherwise, this has been the standard for this show. Where we will talk about geekdom, current events, and anything that falls under that, because geekdom is what you geek out on. And I geek out on a lot of stuff. I can. And the people I know do too. So bring it here. We can have a conversation about it. Thank you to everybody who supported the stream. Thank you to what I would call, like AM does, the sponsor of the stream, Rosie. Appreciate you, Rosie, for that. Big 5-0. And I will see you guys next time. If I can get my shit together. There we go. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.